All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
What is up, everybody? ¿Qué onda, mi gente?
Hola, mi gente. We're live.
Welcome to episode 8 of the Mi Gente show. Live recording on a Thursday evening from beautiful, sunny San Diego. Sort of sunny San Diego. Not yet, June gloom and all that.
Yeah.
I am Luis Martinez, aka Big Chief Rito, with my co-host, as always, Miss Sofia Carrillo. How you doing today, Sofia?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. Pride Month continues.
Hell yeah. Rainbow.
Have you been up to any Pride shenanigans?
No, I'm too old, man. I'm so old.
Did you age out of Pride?
I think I might have. Yeah, it's getting harder to be proud every year. It's a young person's game. It's
It's
just
a young person's game.
game.
Mm.
Yeah, I want to go to the music festival, but I'm too tired for that. I might just go to the parade and that's about it. But that's so San Diego does it late. We do it next month. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So official Pride is all of June,
Mhm.
also known as corporate allyship month.
Yes.
And then also but then San Diego does it what, in July or what?
Yeah, they do it like early July, which is yeah, I don't know why. Maybe they couldn't get Balboa Park on a June, is what my theory is. But yeah.
And is everything happening in Balboa Park, or is it in Hillcrest, or what's the deal?
So it happens in Hillcrest, but the music festival, they closed down like an area at Balboa Park. So I'm assuming that has permits. That's my theory, is that they probably couldn't get a permit for June. So they probably backed up the parade. Because it ends at Balboa Park. So I think it starts at the flag in Hillcrest, then it
Okay.
ends at Balboa, and then the music festival starts. So that's kind of how Pride Day goes.
Do you believe that it's become sort of a money grab at some point? Do you feel like the spirit of it's kind of been taken away from it? How do you feel like since you've been prideful?
Yeah. No. I mean, have corporations taken their liberties and making more merch to make money, and then the rest of the year, so for 1 month they're an ally, and then the rest of the year they promote anti-LGBT stuff, then yeah, for sure. um but has it become more corporate? I don't know that it has. I think the movement has by and large stayed what it is. The people celebrate it for what it is. You know, you're out, you're proud, all of that. The only difference is now we get more merch because people are trying to sell us shit. And guess what? It works.
I mean, gays have a lot of disposable income, so
Yeah, and honestly, I was thinking about it today. While I was sitting on the toilet, I was pondering. I was
that's
pondering
the
like
best time to ponder.
exactly. So I started pondering because I looked this YouTuber that I liked every year. She does a Target Pride collection, like shit that I like, shit that I don't like, whatever, right? And a couple of things I was like, oh my God, like that's kind of cool. So I started looking at the collection. They did really well this year. And so yeah, part of me was just like, I know they're making money. I know they're only doing it for money, but also I'm happy that I get a really cool tumbler that says equality and it's like has a cool design. We would have never gotten that. We usually get dumb shit. We usually get like really cheesy t-shirts. And it's like, so listen, there is demand. So if someone wants to supply, I'm not going to be mad.
No, yeah, I understand. I think that part of it is like normalizing it, right?
Mhm.
It's just kind of like that's kind of the whole area that it started.
Yeah.
And then the second part is commoditizing it because there's a desire to spend money.
Mhm.
There's a disposable income to be had.
Mhm.
Because one of the things that I was thinking about this week is that even though the gay community has been obviously overlooked, maligned, discriminated against, they do have a lot of buying power. They do support
Mhm.
gay-owned businesses, and it is something that is pretty common. So it was just a matter of time before they're like, oh hey, this makes us look like not total assholes,
Mhm.
and and it is kind of the right thing to do begrudgingly. It's always funny when people do the right thing for the wrong reason, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
But they're at least doing the right thing, right? Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah, so it's kind of like devil's advocate. They're doing, like you said, the right thing for the wrong reason, but does that not make it also the right thing because it's helping progress the movement? I don't know. Who's to say?
One of the things that came up, and I'm going to pull up a chart here that I saw that I thought was kind of interesting. Let me see if
Mhm.
what else I have here. Uh, which is, and thank you everybody for stopping by, and thank you for everybody
Yes.
that's supported us. Thanks, Kurt, for stopping by. Pride is so
Aw,
interwoven in our culture now; it should be a year-round as commonplace. Yeah,
love
but
it.
then,
Yes.
then you'll have the like, it's pride. You get every day is pride.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It kind of like Black History Month. We're like, well, why do they get a month? It's all year
Right.
should be, and then it's like, all right, well, now you're just belittling it. So I don't know
Right.
about that.
So here's the bandwagoning. As we see our multiple tabs for the show today, even though most of those are part of the conversation we're having. Performative allyship. Okay.
Okay.
Um, Performative allyship is defined as you're benefiting, right? Not necessarily the optics,
Hmm.
and you can take a look at right here, top right here, where we have
Hmm.
that's, I mean, for us, even though we have been considered, we have an open ethnicity policy, we have an open, we don't write specifically male or female or non-binary parts, so I think our company is considered an ally, but it does, even if you are an ally, it is okay to have that optics, right? I think there's a line between allyship and also um like virtue signaling.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
There's I think there's a bit of a difference then. All right. Bandwagoning, obviously, when you have the 18th company that comes up and says, one of the things that I really liked is like on Twitter this week, I saw a lot of when I was coming out, I was blah 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 something. That's why I'm partnering with like
Oh
like
God, yeah.
I got called a loaf of bread, so that's why I'm partnering with Panera Bread in this gay pride. PR brand public profile management, dealing with white fragility. You're resentful. Everyone's doing it, so I have to. Your statement appeared after you were called out. Virtue signaling, showing receipts. That's kind of what I was talking
Mhm.
about. Like, see, we can't be homophobic because we made a gay logo, right?
Mhm.
Centering yourself, virtue signaling. Okay, so this is performative allyship, authentic allyship,
Mhm.
empathy, grief, outrage. You're taking risks, holding yourself and others accountable. Brand is of no concern, educating yourself, examining own privilege and using it to help, committed to anti-racist work, not virtue signaling and taking real action. It's not about you sitting with discomfort. How do you feel
Hmm.
about those two different slides there?
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree. I think that a lot of people can feel sort of pressured to be performative, and unfortunately, it's something that happens. But I'm like really happy to say that most of the people that I'm surrounded by are authentic allies. Like people that I see going off on Instagram that I'm lucky to know, they're year round having those uncomfortable conversations with their family members and always, they're supporting the movement. So, in the community as a whole. So I think there's a stark difference between the two.
This is
So
something
what
that
do you
came
think?
up. There, I believe, and so here's an example of that kind of to kick us off. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays, because baseball is using the like the New York Mets have changed their logo to a pride color New York Mets
Hmm.
logo. A lot of clubs are doing this.
San Diego, check this
San
out.
Diego, exactly. San
Boom.
Diego has a
Yeah.
game for pride. The same way they would have one for veterans, etc.
Hmm.
The Tampa Bay Devil Rays, there was about 5 or 6 players that decided they were not going to wear the patch, and it was very similar to the if anybody remembers the old school Seinfeld when Kramer went to the gay pride parade or to the AIDS parade, and he didn't want to wear the AIDS ribbon, and all the gays were getting mad at him because who does not want to wear the ribbon was back there. So this is kind of like they felt that they shouldn't have to wear it. It's a hard decision, race pitcher Jason Adams says, because ultimately we all said what we want is them to know that they are all welcome and loved here. But when we put it on our bodies, I think a lot of guys decided that it's just a lifestyle
Hmm.
that maybe not that they look down on anybody or think differently. Keep swimming, you'll find the shore. It's just that maybe we don't want to encourage it if we believe in Jesus, who's encouraged
Jesus.
us to live a lifestyle that would abstain from that behavior. It's not judgmental. It's not looking down, except for the
It
judgmental and
is.
looking down aspect of it.
Exactly, except for that part.
It's just that we believe the lifestyle he's encouraged us to live. Again, the spaghetti man in the sky from 5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
For our good, not to be withheld. But again, we love these men and women. We care about them, and we want them to feel safe and comfortable here. Do you feel safe and
Mm.
comfortable based on that?
No. Yikes. I love straight people. Oh my god, they're hilarious.
Right.
Oh man. I mean, listen. Well, no, you continue and then we'll talk about it.
No, okay, yeah. So basically, it was a big story. Tampa Bay Devil Rays players remove LGBT pride logo from uniforms. Obviously, they're citing their religious preference, and they're basically trying to say that like you heard what they said. They basically said,
Hmm.
we want everybody to feel warm and safe, but we're not going to put this logo on our chest because reasons.
Hmm. Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
so go ahead.
Um, so here's the thing. I believe that he and the team has the right to not put the pride flag on their bodies. I mean, that would have been performative allyship, right? Because he is religious and doesn't believe in that and doesn't support us and is clearly homophobic,
Right.
and very religious. So I'm not mad at him for being like, no, I'm not going to put it on my body. The same way I would never put a cross on my body. I am not religious. If I was on a team, I would probably be like, hey, I don't want to do that. I don't believe in Jesus. Why would I want to do that? Um, so I'm not mad at him. I think that he's an idiot, and I think that he doesn't realize how ignorant and judgmental and homophobic he truly is. And his words are hurtful for sure. But I'm not gonna be like, you have to wear a fucking flag. If you're homophobic, like I'm not gonna force you to wear a fucking rainbow flag. Like you don't actually support us, so don't do that. So it's good to know, right? Because now I won't support anything Tampa Bay Rays related. And all right, I mean, I wasn't a fan to
Well,
begin with, so it's fine.
Tampa Bay, obviously, they changed their logo. They say
Mhm,
today we wear our pride on our sleeves. This is the Tampa Bay logo that we're talking about here. That they had it.
mhm.
They obviously put pictures. They had a pride celebration at the office, but it was these. Oh, surprise, surprise! These 5 guys.
Whoa! White
Hey, hey,
guys?
3 white
What?
guys. I would never would have thought it.
Whoa!
Jason Adam, Jalen Beeks, Brooks Rally, Jeffrey Springs, and Ryan Thompson.
Uh-huh.
reportedly ditched the custom jersey hats featuring rainbow colored lettering and instead opted for standard unis. I'm a pretty big baseball fan. I've never heard of any of them. So
Good.
I mean, hopefully it doesn't necessarily. I mean, um, I don't know. I guess let's compare it to something else. Chick-fil-A.
Hmm.
Chick-fil-A not only is fervently anti-gay, they
Hmm.
donate money to conversion camps and a bunch of other antiquated anti-gay ideologies,
Hmm.
politicians, etc. They also, and one of the worst things about them is they also support anti-gay politicians in countries in Africa, where for up until years ago it was kind of accepted. Gay lifestyles were accepted, and they come in and they support these crazy preachers that say death to homophobia, death to homosexuals, death to this and stuff like that. That really puts people's life in danger. So
Hmm.
they're a horrible, horrible organization. On the other side, Polynesian sauce is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They do sauce for their nuggets right and their waffle fries. As somebody who considers himself an ally, I really be like, man, I stopped going to them 95% of the time.
Hmm.
I try to stay away from it because of the same reason when I was a kid and I figured out how veal was made, and I used to love veal when I was a kid, and then I was like, oh no, this is baby cow. Fuck it, I haven't eaten to get
Hmm.
veal again since I figured out what it was when I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own line, their own hypocrisy of their life that they're willing to live in
Hmm.
before it becomes too much. For some people, it's across the board. So, but I always like to also think kind of like a libertarian, I guess, or that I would, unless you are actively hurting, I would like to try to put your political, religious ideology out of whatever your company is about. So if your
Mm.
company is about chicken sandwiches and waffle fries and lemonade, if I never know that you're super religious, like if I never looked at the bottom of an In and Out cup and saw, a religious thing, like I would never. I think that's the preferred way, So
Hmm.
in a perfect world, I wouldn't know that they're super religious. I would just like their chicken and waffle fries and then move on. But since they're so open about it, once you put yourself out there, then you are open to a response. Do
Of
you agree?
course. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And are you full off Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, no, I would say I haven't had it in I don't fuck. I've had it twice in my life. And the last time I had it was, I don't know, maybe like 4 years ago because my friends really wanted to go and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna be that person. Um, but I've only had it twice. I don't really care for it much. Same thing of like I super respect when people just say 95%. When you try, like you don't have like because it's really hard. First of all, the United States as a country is disgusting, and we fund a lot of wars, we fund a lot of coups, and it's disgusting, right? There's a lot of companies like every people that own Tesla. Tesla does crazy shit, like so. If we were to nitpick every single company for what they do, we would not own anything. iPhones, it's like everything.
Yeah,
So, but what I do believe,
Nikes,
huh? Yeah, Nikes.
Nike.
Yeah. What I do believe though is in trying to at least go out of your way to put your money behind something that is going to support what you believe and what you also support. Um, that doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect and always, do that. But for example, Chick Fil A, it's I could go to Popeyes. I don't give a fuck. Like it's not that good. And then B, yeah, they're disgusting and religious, and like they just do a lot of crazy shit that I'm like, I don't know why I would ever invest in you. You know, it's not my vice, but I do understand that like, Nissan has sweatshops. I own a Nissan car. Stuff like that. I understand that I pay taxes to this disgusting country, so I always appreciate the thought when people can try their best to not support businesses that are homophobic. Um, but also we live in a very difficult capitalist society and sometimes it's hard. Like I fucking purchase a soda stream. a few months ago, and then I found out that they were funding the war on Palestine. I was like,
Really?
"Fuck!" Yeah, I was like, "Oh shit, no, I fucked up," and then the guilt sets in. And then I was like, "I'll never purchase anything like that again." And it's so yeah, so it's just oh yeah,
Well, it is. I mean, some people, far left or reactionaries or whatever you want to call them, people that are, super super libs, I guess, are like, well, you have to do your research on everything, right? Because
yeah, they'll guilt you.
everything has to be ethically sourced. Everything has to be
Mhm.
this. You didn't do this. You didn't do that, etc. So I understand that it's incredibly hard to keep up with all of that. And like you said, if you have to sit back and say, well, I'm not gonna eat Chick-fil-A, but I'm gonna order from the taco shop on my iPhone that was made with slave labor,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna walk out in my Nike flats that I got, that was also child labor,
Mhm.
and I'm going to take advantage of all these other things that are based on kind of unethical standards, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera.
Yeah.
It's tiresome to have to always keep
Yeah.
that in mind, and it is incredibly hard to keep that up for an entire lifetime and not and be
It
100%
is.
feel clean. It's hard to feel 100% clean.
Exactly, because we never will be because it's the system is built against that. So we never will be. And what I like to advocate for is just don't try to be perfect because then what happens is we feel fatigue and then we just go anti all these movements because we're like, well, I can't fucking do anything right. And so I just want to thank anyone who tries their best to not consume from, homophobic companies. As long as you're trying, as long as you're doing your best, and yeah, I haven't eaten Chick-fil-A. I ate it twice in my life. I don't care for it, and yeah, fuck them. So,
Yeah, I mean, plus if you go there and you're like, "Hey, I forgot my Polynesian sauce," they'll give you some. They don't even
oh,
ask you. They'll just be like, "Yeah, you can have some." And they're
love
like,
it,
"Ooh," and then you go to Popeyes and you get the sandwich there.
love it. Yeah,
Love that chicken from Popeye. Popeye, please sponsor us.
I know, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
the that brings up the question of, like the big question usually that they throw to is, can somebody decide not to bake a cake for a gay wedding, right?
Hmm.
Can a clerk uh, can a clerk at a courthouse deny a gay couple a marriage certificate because they themselves, and we had an issue like that, I guess, right? That happened where
Hmm.
the court was like, I'm the clerk here, and I don't believe in gay marriage. So one of the biggest boundaries in this country is religious freedom bumping up until institutional rules and equality and things like that. So
Hmm. So I'm of two minds, I guess, to this one because if you're a small business, like the cake guy who like didn't want to do that, and those are your beliefs. The same way that a business can say, LGBT are welcome and stuff like that. Like I think businesses could say their views. Now when we're getting to the government owned, like the clerk, that's your job. That is separate from your beliefs. The minute that you walk through the door, I don't care who you're fucking writing anything towards. That's your job to do so. So that person should be fired, in my opinion. In my job, um, what is it? Kurt, what did he say? IDK, the
uh,
city doesn't clean.
yeah, yeah, that's yeah. Clean your own
Yeah,
house before you
cool. Nice.
before you start
That
throwing
is,
stones.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. What was it saying? Something about, oh, yes. So in my
Didn't mean to cut you
job,
off.
no, no worries. In my job, we had to do an event for Easter,
Mhm.
and we have to always give services to whomever, whatever beliefs they hold. Sometimes I find out that they hold really homophobic fucking beliefs, and guess what? I still give therapy to their children. We still you have to do a fucking job. That's your job. Okay? It's not privately owned. I don't own the company. I can't say like, "Hey, fuck off." So I think it's very different whether it's like a privately owned small business, mom and pop shop, and they want to go be homophobic. I'm not for it. I don't like it. I think it's disgusting. And I think that if you shout them out on social media and get them closed down, fuck it. They are allowed to not give service to certain people, right? But yeah, if it's like a government owned, like something to do with like marriage certificates, and you're working for something that is not privately owned, then no, quit. Like you can't fucking say I'm religious and I can't do that. No, fucking quit. Get another
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, I think definitely it's definitely something that once you have the full once you are I guess the government doesn't have the ability the government should not have the ability to discriminate. And if you take a
Exactly.
job with the government, the good things that come with that are benefits, security, um,
Which guess what? Gays
retiring.
are also funding through via taxes. So
Yeah, so for you to say I'm going to take it upon myself to sort of take a stand here,
mhm,
um, then you're really kind of like I know you're taking one step too far. I think
yeah.
you're taking one step too far. I think, like you said, private businesses, you have the right to do that. You also have the right to be shut down or canceled, I guess, because of it.
Mhm,
And you're gonna realize that the what you like to call the woke mob or just consumers with disposable income are going to
mhm,
come after you or not come after you and say, yeah, this is a place that's racist, and you see it every week, every day on the internet where we find people that are pieces of shit and people are like, you know what, you're a piece of shit and we have the internet, so I'm going to try to get you fired, I'm going to try to get you, the internet's undefeated. If you fuck up
mhm,
and the masses are against you, you're going to be fucked. And as they say on Twitter, every day somebody's the villain on Twitter. Just don't be that person. Just
mhm,
don't be today's villain. There's always somebody that's the bad guy on the internet. So we have to go there.
mhm.
Makes sense, right? All right.
Yeah,
So
totally agree.
in honor of Pride Month, um, should we take the Am I Gay quiz?
Oh my god. Do you want to take it or shall I?
Well, I mean, we know about you. I mean, should
Yeah,
we
I
do
think
it
you
here?
should take it. I think you
Should we
should
do?
take.
Should we take the Am I Gay quiz? All right, let's take the Am I Gay quiz. All right.
Okay.
What is your opinion about Pride Month? I take active part in it. I support them via social networks. What is Pride Month? The whole year should be Pride year, not only 1 month. That was Kurt's answer here.
Oh damn, that
Uh,
was.
I have gone to pride parades back in the day, like in the 90s, 2000s in New York with
Ooh.
so I don't know if that still qualifies me as active part in it. But I
Oh
have taken
man.
active part in celebrations in the past.
Mhm.
So will it let
This
me
is an
choose?
active part of celebration, I would say.
Okay, how do I press the button then?
I don't know.
No. Well, is this not going to let me take the friggin' test? What's going on here? All right, this
It's
is
homophobic. The quiz is homophobic.
Quig is homophobic. All right,
Yeah.
let me see if I can get this to work off here before I do that. I take act. Why isn't this working? All right, let me refresh it. See if it's happening. See, my computer might be homophobic.
Damn, and it's so expensive too.
Oh, my
Can
computer might be
can you
homophobic.
funding homophobic computers? How dare
All
you?
right, let's see what else we have here. Do you like to do things that other sex stereotypically does? For example, bra wearing if you're a guy. I tried it once or never. I never. Wow, enjoying it from time to time. Never on that one. I'm sorry.
What?
I've never worn women's underwear or anything like that. I
Well, it
don't.
doesn't have to be that. Just like painted nails.
I'm not
Ear
against painting.
you have earrings.
I do have earrings.
Mm-hmm. What
I
else?
tried it. Should I put I tried it once or twice or never?
Yeah. Have you ever worn drag like at all? Like even for funsies?
I've dressed in drag as a costume. I've dressed as a
There you
woman
go. So
in
then
costume. So I
once or
tried it again.
try
Tried
it,
it.
yeah.
All right. It's okay. I dabbled. I stuck my toe in. Do you have
There
any
you go.
gay friends? Most friends are gay. Yes, I have one such friend. I even have more gay friends than straight ones. No, all my friends are
No.
straight. Well, none of
No.
these really
Yeah,
match.
none of them. You have some gay friends.
Yeah, I would say the closest would be I have even more gay friends than straight one because I do know a ton of bi and gay people.
Oh,
But I
that's
don't think
true.
Yeah, I guess if I'm going by
But
close friends, most friends are gay. Yes, I have ones. Which one do you think is closest here for me? You know me better.
what are the two? I can't see it. So,
Most friends are gay. Yes, I have one such friend. I even have more gay friends than straight ones. Or no, all my friends are straight.
oh, that's hard.
Yeah, I don't think they phrased this one
They didn't
correctly.
phrase it well. Which one's the closest to the middle? Like, yes, I have some.
Yes, I have. I guess yes, I think I have one such friend would be the
One. Yeah, I
closest.
have one such
Yeah.
friend. Yeah.
And that's my
Because you have
co-host.
some, but I would say them for the most part, they're all straight.
How about going to bed with someone of the same sex? Very interesting, desirable, disgusting, negative. I still sort of that doesn't appeal to me. I wouldn't say disgusting, but I would say negative
Yeah.
because I think I'm far on the straight. Have you ever been called gay or lesbian? Well, I've been called the
I'll
F
say
word by friends in the 80s and
no,
90s.
no, I'll say not in a derogatory, like not in like, yeah. So if someone actually was like, you're probably gay,
Yeah, you probably
like calling
inhale
you out.
cocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no, not really. All right, so I'm
Not
gonna
in
put
a
never.
playful, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not in a playful, like insultish way.
Insult, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the reason that, and just a side note on that is, I think that that was such an insult, and not necessarily even from people that used it. I think that the whole genesis of that insult was trying to say the thing that would make a masculine person pissed off the most. So if
Exactly.
it's a guy to guy, you're like, the worst thing you can say to another guy is, no, you are a gay, because
Yeah.
it's a masculinity thing. Even though
Even or
saying it,
pussy.
breaking up that word, yeah, or pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you watch some side of porno with both actors of your gender? Now, does that, well, both, as in the only actors? I've seen porn with, now this is,
Ah!
my friend used to do a gay test with dudes where he'd be like, "Do you watch porn?" And they'd be like, "Yeah." He's like, Do you like watching porn with small dicks?" And he'd be like, "No, I want to see big dicks." And they'd be like,
Oh,
you watch the
that
big
is
dick porn."
so good. That is so good.
So
Got him.
I've seen, you got him. But
Got him.
so I've seen porn with multiple people of my same gender, but never when it is only people of my same gender.
Okay.
I'm gonna put never. Okay, all right. Who is
Oh.
attractive to you? Who's attractive to me?
Ooh.
People of both sexes, but the same sex more often. The other sex people, but I recognize when somebody of the same sex is attractive.
That one.
People of the yeah. I can recognize when the guy's
Mhm.
fucking hot, like Johnny Depp, who never did anything wrong in his life.
No, he's
He's so
amazing.
perfect.
He's an angel.
I wouldn't want to die without having experimented sexually with the same sex. Rather yes than no. Good Lord, definitely not. Absolutely. I think rather no than yes. Will I be okay if I die without having had gay sex? I will be. I'll be okay.
What about
I wouldn't.
experimenting? What about like kissing a guy?
I think that would kind of skeeve me out.
Um,
For the like like what if he had like stubble
yeah.
or
Okay.
like.
All right. All
And
right.
I don't think, and and this is sort of similar. I dated a girl who was a drop dead gorgeous many years ago, but she was like a bodybuilder or a competition. She was in competitions, right?
Oh,
And she was like,
masculine.
it was a very weird relationship because she kind of liked me because I was the complete antithesis of like a bodybuilder. So
Hmm.
she was around all these guys that were like super buff, and she's like, "Oh no, you're cuddly and soft." And I was like, oh, "Okay, fuck it." But when I would grab her butt, it felt like I was grabbing like just like a powerful
Like a
entity,
brick.
like a
Yeah.
powerful thing, like a brick. And I really did not, and I didn't like giving her massages because her shoulders would be like super strong, and
Oh, wow.
I'm not a big fan of muscle titties. So
Yeah.
I think would I be okay? Yes, I would be absolutely okay with that
Yeah.
happening. Yeah,
All right.
I'm all right. I'm just saying I like soft
No,
things.
yeah, no masculine features, basically.
No matter that's yeah, masculine features not. What are your sexual fantasies about? Okay, the same sex partner only, opposite sex partner exclusively. Yes, the same, but barely about the opposite. No, the opposite sex for the most part, about the same sex barely.
Mhm.
Opposite sex partners exclusively. Who have you already had sex with? I have had sex with people of my sex, opposite sex. I have had sex only with people of the opposite sex. Have you ever stared at someone cute or beautiful of your gender? Ooh.
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 I have in
Give
my
us names.
life. Uh, uh, give us you name names, Lou.
Name names now. Who was it?
Uh,
Dominic Lerma.
Dominic Lerma is so sexy. No.
Oh yeah.
Um, I have a handful of times in my life have met guys that were very feminine or very slight and just very like kind of like that, and
Hmm.
I have been able to recognize, man, that is an attractive man. that is, but I've never acted on it. Okay, but I have felt it. I have recognized it.
Yeah.
You know.
Hmm. That's a
Oh, I
tough
can look.
one then. You're probably gonna be bi in this quiz.
I rarely stare at opposite, but it happened once or twice. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, that's a
It
good
had.
one. Yeah.
I've been like, damn, that's a good looking
So
person.
you double take
What do you
sometimes.
What do you feel when you see a person of the same sex naked?
Have you?
Nothing. I mean, locker
Oh
rooms,
yeah, porn. Yeah, yeah. Locker room porn. Okay.
porn. I would say nothing much. I don't. It
Mm.
doesn't. I don't go out of my way. Have you ever kissed a person of the opposite sex?
Yes.
Uh, that
Ah.
Well,
What
you tell
happened in
me
that locker room,
what
huh?
happened in that locker room. Well,
Ah.
the closest I ever came
Mhm.
was we were playing. I think this was high school, so this was like 1994, 95, and we were playing Suck and Blow.
Oh my god.
Sounds worse
Yes.
than it is.
It is.
That's where you take the that's where you
Hard.
take like the card, right?
Yeah.
And you
And
pass
yeah.
it around and it was during, I think, like drama club, and we were doing that, and
Of course it was.
it was during drama
Theater
club.
kids are dirty.
So during that time, I guess there was a mishap of the card sliding, and I did technically
Mhm.
touch lips, but it wasn't. There was no smucker. There was no
Mhm.
fluid exchange. It was just contact.
Oh, come on. All
So
right.
I'm gonna say, what I qualify that under?
No,
Never a
I
couple
would say
times.
never because that wasn't even a kiss.
It
Like,
wasn't. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, if you want to get technical about it, into like whatever, we'll go never. This is starting
I know
to.
plenty of guys that like are like, no, yeah, like I wanted to try it. So like we kissed and I felt nothing. And I'm like, okay, even there you're straight, but you haven't done that. So
No, okay, give me a second here. This is
that's a
starting to.
never.
This is the Nebuchadnezzar. Uh, Let me see. I'll wait till this comes up again. And thank you, everybody. We are just messing around here on Mi
We
Gente
really
show
are.
on Gay Pride.
We'll get back to
Decided
it. Yeah.
we're decided to go take the Am I Gay quiz, which I
Yes.
mean,
Hard hitting
plot
stuff, really.
hard hitting stuff as we
Yeah.
talk about Gay Pride. Let's see. All right,
Did you
let's
get
see
a
what
result? How
no, I'm
long is
looking.
it?
I'm just trying to see why this doesn't. It's. Give me a second. Let me refresh it to see if it'll let me press the button. All right,
Okay.
let's go. Never. All right. Have you ever had a sexual dream involving a same gender person?
Yes. Oh, it's not about me. Sorry.
It's not about.
Sorry.
I've never had dreams with same. I mean, I've had dreams where people show up, but not sexual dreams. Obviously, right?
Mm,
That's the.
I don't know, man. I'm bi.
It happens all the time, right?
All the time. Yeah, every which way. It's just,
Were you ever afraid to tell your family about your sexual or romantic preferences?
oh, it's okay. I accept you. I know you're straight. I accept you. It's okay.
I rarely speak with my family about sexual preferences. Okay, all right. I'm just trying to get through this. If you discover that your friend is gay, what would you do? What are my options?
I know.
I will remain neutral. I will ask them on a date. I will support them. I will distance myself from them.
I will ask him on a date. It's great.
I will support them. One of my best friends in high school, my friend, and he's out, so his name's Polo. He was my best friend in high school. Like, we didn't go to our main high school. We went to an annex, and we used to walk home together, and we used to write stories together, and we hung out, and he was like my best friend for a long time. And he was such my best friend that I would try to hook him up with girls that I knew. And and then they'd be like, "Hey, what happened with my friend?" They'd be like, "Oh, it didn't work out." And meanwhile, he was telling them like, "Hey, yeah, I'm gay, so Lou doesn't know."
Oh,
And then one day he was like, "Hey, him and another friend of mine, we were hanging out, and they're like, Lou," and I was like, "What?" This was like 1995, I want to say, and he
mm,
was like, "Hey, by the way, I'm gay," and I was like, "Oh, okay," and then that was it. I was just like, big deal,
yeah. You're like, all right.
but he did a few years back say, "Hey, you were really cool in that time, and you allowed me to kind of be
Oh,
myself and stuff like that." So I felt good about that.
look at
Uh,
you.
what are your feelings on milk? I don't know what this has to do with anything, but I don't like it at all. I can't imagine my day without milk. I only eat sweets with milk. I guess I stopped drinking milk mostly, so I guess I would eat it with sweets. That would be my thing.
Mm.
How do you like your eggs in the morning?
What the fuck? This is so dumb. This was your idea.
I like my partner eggs on my eyes. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I can sexualize eggs. I only eat eggs that are hard boiled. I don't eat eggs at all. I don't know how to answer this,
I don't know what that means.
but I'm gonna put I can sexualize eggs
Yeah.
because they're fucking sexy. What is your opinion
Yes.
of Elton
Yeah.
John? I listen to his music every day. I don't like him because of his appearance. He had a great career, but he should be proud of. I prefer to listen to others. He had a great career.
Great
I
career,
love
yeah.
Yeah, I love Elton John. Nothing wrong. What
Yeah.
did you see first in this picture? I saw like a veranda, like something like that would like on stairs or something, right?
I saw glass dildos, but yeah.
Glass dildos, a naked
Yeah.
body, Asian building column, noses, sex toys. Okay, so you saw sex toys. I saw
Yeah.
building columns. Okay, that's interesting. What was the first that caught your attention? That ass.
That ass.
That ass. Not
That
the
ass
cat,
for
not the
sure.
bottle.
Yeah.
The naked girl. All
Yep.
right. Yeah. That ass though.
Yeah.
How do you act when a person of same sex flirt to you? I respond with flirt too. I don't like people to see me in public. I tell them to stop. I can talk to them, have fun, but nothing over the limits.
Yeah, I'd say you're flattered.
Yeah, I'm flattered. I had I was recruited, I think, during my time as a youngster.
Mm.
I like I'll tell this story. And this is kind of like related to my friend's story, which was that he would come back and he would have all these phrases because
Mhm.
he would go to these gay clubs. So he would have all these phrases that were very gay phrases that I didn't know, but he would say it, it would be like, oh, voguing and
Yeah.
Chewbacca fairy tales, and it was just these weird '90s gay phrases.
Mhm.
And then he'd be like, "Oh, I was at this Club Milk," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I was at this Club Milk," and gays would look at me like, "The fuck is that?" I was just a poser, really. I was just
Mhm.
bullshitting. But so there was a push by part of the gay community in my school to try to recruit me over. And they'd be like, "So you're really not gay, huh?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm not." And they'd be like,
Clear
"What?"
Clearly they failed.
They failed, yeah. And then they'd
Yeah.
be like, "Well, okay, but if I found so and so sucked your dick, I'm gonna be mad," and I'm gonna be like, "No, that's fine." Do you like to dress up unconventionally? I try this sometimes when I'm home alone. I dress up like this at party. I have never done this. I plan to try this in the future. I have no problem with dressing
Mhm.
different if I wanted to. Why not? For funsies.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a gay bar? Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, because, and this was again as a boomer from the 90s, I would go with my sister and her friends to gay bars because they wanted to go dance with gay dudes and not get hit on. And there would be tons of chicks there, both gay and straight, that were there to dance. And then
Mhm.
towards the end of the evening, once they had gotten a little gyration on, they were looking for straight guys.
Mhm.
So I'd be like, "Hey, I'm here now," and then hey. So that was
Yeah.
that was my thought process, at least, of what I thought was going to happen. Let's
It
see what
actually
comes
works.
Yeah. They did a test on straight men and gay porn, and they found that straight guys would still get hard, but only because they still see it as a woman and a man, not two men. Oh, that's interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. So yes,
Did not know
I've gone. I'm not a regular, but I've gone to satisfy my curiosity. Okay, we'll put that one because I wouldn't say I'm a regular. What do you think about the LGBT community? They fucking suck. No, I'm just kidding.
that.
They, yeah, yeah. I
Fuck
don't know.
'em.
I'm just putting that logo up there so I don't get fucking yelled at.
Yeah.
I think they can do whatever they want. I'm part of them. I don't like them at all. I support them when I can. Which one is? I think I support them when I can. I guess.
Yeah, because if you say I'm part of them, which you are because you're an ally, but also like they're gonna take that as like you're gonna be like you're gay.
You're super gay. All right, we're
Yeah,
at question
that's your
26 out of
support.
30.
Mhm.
This is the "Am I gay" test.
Oh my
What do you?
god, out of how many? You gotta hurry it up. Just go.
Okay, all right. I'm pushing through here.
Yeah.
There's four more questions here. What do you think
Okay.
if a same-sex person invites you to drink a coffee? I would think they were my friend and they wanted to go have a coffee. Right? They want to form a friendship. They only want to spend time with me. Okay, here, this one keeps messing up right here. Let me take this off so I can. I keep having to refresh it. There's nothing wrong with coffee. Come on.
Nope,
Why would you have a
never.
problem with coffee? And
Love
people like to.
coffee.
I have coffee with all kinds of different people. Do you think gay people should have kids? Duh.
Yes.
No, they should not interfere with nature. Ouch. I'm really not sure. Yes, all people should have kids. Yes, we might fight. Yes, we must fight about discrimination. I think, yes, we must fight about discrimination. All right. Do you make jokes about gay people?
Like who
I like.
doesn't?
Yeah, like I say, I am not gonna lie.
Tastefully.
I used to use the F word in my youth and into the early 2000s as an insult. Mostly, like I said, not to justify it, but to say my thought process was that if you called a man that, then you were basically trying to belittle him as much as possible or do what you think the most hateful thing. But eventually, I started to realize that the use of the word, because of its history, because of where it came from, was wrong. So I stopped doing that, and I stopped doing a lot
Mhm.
of things that used to be wrong in my life, and that just comes with growth. So as far as from an equal opportunity comedian, yes, because I believe that one of the things that can unite us is making fun of each other.
Mhm.
The same way I don't mind when people make fat jokes if they're funny. Yeah, I yes, please make fat jokes when you're around me if they're funny. If they come off as cruel, it's wrong. So I think it kind of falls into the same sort of.
Mhm.
So yes, I find them very funny. No, I find them offensive. No, I don't want to hurt other people's. Yes, but I feel a bit uncomfortable. I'm gonna say yes, I find them funny
Yeah.
because making fun of
It's
people
weird
is
though because that question is assuming that the joke
that
is
the joke
insensitive.
is yeah that the joke
Yeah,
is
it's
saying
assuming
like
that it's like offensive, which it doesn't have to be, but whatever.
yeah exactly. Will you accept a gay roommate? I think I have two of them right now. Boom.
Hmm.
Just kidding.
Ah,
Yeah, just kidding.
got him.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I would love to have a gay roommate. They're very tidy. They always have their rent on time. Uh, you know, I'm assuming that they have.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think if you see gay people in public? I don't like to see them in public. I would start a conversation with. I would try to avoid them as much as I can.
How
I see them as normal people. Okay,
how
this
old
whole
is this quiz? God.
exactly. Oh my God, I don't know.
Uh,
Let me see. Link to the quiz. Okay, am I gay? Discover your true self. Where is the result here?
All right, results. You're gay. Luis coming out live on the podcast.
This is on a very special podcast. Where's my?
It's gonna say you're closeted. Telling you.
Let's see. Let's see if this. What it? No. Okay. Are you really just?
What are we doing?
I'm trying to. I just got the result. Am I gay? Discover your truth. Discover your. It doesn't tell me anything. This is a fucking waste of time. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, literally, it just said, "Am I gay? Discover your true self. Share your results," but it didn't give me my results.
Wait, do you have an email that you could send it to?
Link to this quiz. I don't know. All right, that was a bust. All right, never mind. Never mind.
Great.
I think that it's interesting at least to see, based on my answers, Sophia. What do you,
Hmm.
if you had to put a percentage on my gayness, what do you think it would be?
God, you're one
Like
of those
100%?
uh on your gayness. You're like 20,
20% gay?
15. You're very straight. It's like almost boring. Like I know straight men that are less straight, you know? Like you're so vanilla.
I could use a little. You saying I could use a little more gay in my life?
Yeah, yeah. It's like you don't even have like like a fun little gay story from your teen years. Like nothing.
No, it was very
Okay,
boring.
thank you, Johnny Papas. It is about time. Damn.
That's
Thank you for
time.
coming out.
94,
94.
94%.
Kurt.
Kurt, Kurt,
Kurt
stop,
knows
Kurt,
you so well.
stop talking about my. No, that was a bunk of a test. I think it's the
Yep.
most interesting part of that is kind of the kind of questions that they ask.
Yeah, it seemed outdated. I don't know.
The old thing I used to always mention was that on the Carlos Mencia show, they had this one episode where, and I think this was the only time that Carlos Mencia was really funny, and they had a song, and the song was basically, "If you think you might be gay, then you're gay."
Mhm.
And I always thought at the beginning, I was like, yeah, but no, there was a time in my high school youth where I was in a kind of a strange situation where I think if things had gone a different way, maybe if I had drank more or done some things, that I probably would have experimented a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that just means that there it was I didn't have a gay bone in me at the
Mm.
time. At the time,
Yeah.
so I'd like to think that I would have been open to it, so I would have some cooler study. I think I guess in 2022, that would have given me a little bit more street cred.
Yeah, a little more straight. Yeah, because yeah, there's so many straight guys that are like, "Oh yeah, I made out with the dude at like camp like 20 years ago." Like I don't know something, You're like, "Oh shit, cool."
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's a little palate cleanser. That's been gay talk here with Lou and Sophia.
Yep.
Okay. How much would they have to pay you to do this job, Sophia?
Um, like $70 an hour.
And they have harnesses on, but they're not connected to anything.
What the fuck are they doing?
They're building
That's crazy.
those rafters, dude.
That's
And
so crazy.
look at that. I wouldn't even be able to do I wouldn't even be able to do the dude filming.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm not afraid of heights, so I would do it. It's just pay me a lot because I could die. It's
Yeah.
the it's the
Oh,
all.
like look at
Yeah.
like I can't even imagine looking down at something like that.
I mean, I've been skydiving. It's the almost dying for me because I'm clumsy. So it's not the height; it's the fact that I probably would fall. I likely
I
would trip on something.
Yeah, that I would be definitely too
Yeah.
cluttered. Johnny says I don't have a gay bone in me. No pun
No
intended.
pun
Yeah,
intended.
absolutely.
I know, right?
All right.
I get it.
Moving on from that chat. A couple other things happening right now.
Let's get
We'll
to the
just knock.
news. What's going on in the
We'll
news?
knock through this here at 51. Let me just write down the time here when we stop talking gay.
Okay.
Um, and David Arquette weighs in on Nev Campbell's exit from Scream 6. This is something that's pertinent to you because you're a big
Mm-hmm.
fan of the Scream series.
Yes. Fill me in, please.
Nev Campbell. So basically, what Nev Campbell has said is that she knows her worth. The movie grossed $140 million worldwide, 774 million over its run. Scream 6 is set to begin this summer, and obviously they wanted Sydney back, right?
Right.
They wanted her back for the next trickle.
Uh, I
Trequel?
forgot.
What do you call it? A
I don't know.
trequel? It's not a
No,
trequel.
we're tired. There's a word. No, it's a fuck. Whatever. Just move on.
Trilogy.
Trilogy. Trilogy. Yes, I was like, there is a word. Trilogy.
The fuck is
Wow.
trequel? I'm sorry.
I don't know. We need to sleep.
But basically, she wants more money. I guess they probably because do you think so? The question is, do you think that Scream 6 will be the same without her? This is kind of similar to like the Futurama reboot where the guy who
Mhm.
they offered the guy who plays the voice of Vender, and he said that's not enough money for me. And then they're like, all right, we're going to do it without you. And then the internet freaked out, and then they're like, all right, we're going to pay him his money. Do you think this is similar to that?
Yeah, very similar. What did she do you know the numbers? Do you know what she was requesting, what they were offering, and what they pay David Arquette?
I'm guessing that these minor actors are probably getting like 2 million, maybe 2 to 3 million. You think
They
he's
don't
trying?
even they don't even deserve that much, but okay.
You don't think so? I mean,
God
if the
no,
movie,
they're no name actors. The only person that now deserves something is Jenna Ortega, and that's because she has become a name and is amazing and needs to come back. Everyone else, they can all die. I don't care. But for the new cast, for the old cast, give Nev Campbell all of my money, please. I watch these movies religiously. I just want to see Nev Campbell.
yeah,
This is
what
a
was
Nev
that?
Campbell show.
Yeah, what was it? I'm trying to figure out if there's a quote. for how much she got offered.
Yeah, I would like to know the numbers because that'll be really if I agree or disagree with her just being like, no, I'm worth more. Because where I'm at right now, not knowing the numbers, she's justified in wanting a lot of money. She is the star. She is the scream queen. She is the face of Scream. She is the reason. She is the reason why people watch them. She is the person that we scream at in the theater when she comes out.
Right.
But they have been fading her out, so that tells me that she probably got very expensive in the last film, so they were like, "Let's try to fade her out and let's try to, cut her scenes because she was barely in the last one. So, it's also a good way it was also a good way to get the audience prepared for her exit because I feel like she's been from Scream 1 and 4, she's been the main face, and this was the first Scream where I wanted to see her and she didn't come out as much. They did it in a very tasteful way that I think we can all be okay if she doesn't come back in the next one.
Yeah, I
But
think I would have rather kept Dewey than her.
I don't know about
Myself.
that. I don't know about that. I mean, I wish they would have kept Dewey. Like, I wish they would have kept as many originals as possible. So they shouldn't have killed him. But oh, sorry, spoilers, you guys. But I'm prepared for her to not be in it. But I also understand that it's probably going to be automatically the lowest rated of the Scream movies. There's no way that it's going to be that good without her.
Well, this is definitely, I think, structured to be like to bring out like the internet outrage, like how dare you not pay her,
Mhm.
because even in her statement, sadly, I won't be making the next Scream film. She shared in the statement, as a woman, I have had to work extremely hard. She's playing the woman card. Just kidding.
She's
Uh,
also very rich, so I don't my heart does not go out to her for being a woman. Like, I'm sorry. You're
As a
very
woman, I had
rich.
to work extremely hard in my career to establish my value, especially when it comes to Scream. I felt the offer that was presented to me did not equate to the value I have brought to the franchise. So they were basically paying her to be a bit player in the next movie, and she's like, "Yeah, but it's not a Scream movie without me." So I think she wanted to get paid probably as like if she was the lead for it, and they were just trying to pay her as like somebody that's going to just be featured in it, right? I think that's kind of more
Yeah.
like where it's going.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the number, right? But I
right.
would say that after knowing the numbers that men in Hollywood, I hate to play a woman card, but men in Hollywood are fucking entitled. They ask for a lot of money for just a cameo. Like, it's insane.
Mhm.
So for her to ask for a lot of money, even just a cameo in her own franchise, like, like, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's fucking Nev Campbell. What do you want? It's her franchise.
Yeah, if you want her showing up to save the day in number 6, then you need to do it, or maybe just kill her off.
Yeah, yeah, and oh man, if they were gonna kill her off, that there could have been so many ways. So it's very sad that she's not coming back. That sucks. Yeah, I think that's the end of Scream in a sense. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, but I can't see it being great.
All right, moving on here. The January 6th insurrection trial begins tonight. Actually,
Mhm.
it's been described as a whodunit, where you already know who did it, but it's worth watching to find out if democracy dies at the end.
You're so dumb.
Are you going to be watching any of the January 6th insurrection trials? Does that bother you at all? Does that
Sadly, I'm not gonna have that much time at that time in my life, but I will watch like clips, videos, as much as I can, just because I'm such a chismosa. There's a reason why we have a podcast about current events, and it's because I like to be updated. So, yeah, I'll watch as much as I possibly can. We'll see. Democracy is dead, by the way. So
democracy is dead?
it's too late for that. Yeah, we live in an oligarchy. This is not democracy.
Why do you feel that way?
Because the way just the system is right now, where there's very few people in power at the top and the working poor, the working class, we do not get a say. Um, I think that democracy was kind of like um, has been slowly lost ever since what happened in the 80s with Reagan. I think there was whenever the bill was passed where money was equal to speech, and
Right,
then
free
free
speech
speech,
equals,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, free speech equals money, and it's equated to that. That's when democracy just started going downhill. Now we just live in an oligarchy where only the top point something percent are in charge, and that's it. So yeah, democracy. We don't live in a democracy right now. I think AOC actually said that earlier this week as well, which I'm like, yay, she's catching on. Great.
All right. Further Latinidad news: a group, a new Latino media startup launches with historic $80 million raise. So basically, um, some Latinos
Hmm.
um, have raised some money, and they're acquiring 18 Hispanic radio stations across 10 markets from Televisa. The deal, valued at 60 million, is one of the largest single acquisition of radio stations by Latino-owned company and operated. Most of the acquired stations are primarily Spanish language, and a few are bilingual. So the reason this is interesting is because this would have been something that would have been interesting and important if it had happened in the 90s or early 2000s,
Hmm.
where radio and sort of local TV were a bigger section of it. I think that. Do you think radio is dead? Number one.
Um, Kinda, yeah. I I'm sure there's people that still listen to it, but I do think it's just like Blockbuster was lost to Netflix. I do think that radio is dying to Spotify and Apple Music and all of that.
From a content perspective, Latino Media Network said it will build programming around authoritative news personalities and subject matters experts to help the Latino community navigate complicated topics like healthcare, finance, and small business. While much of that content will be supported by advertising, some programs can be funded by philanthropy. The big picture, the Latino Media Network raise and television represent the latest major moment of momentum for Hispanic media.
Okay.
So I've been sort of going back and forth between feeling like it's a big deal or not a big deal at all. I do think that for mostly the poor and
Hmm.
lower segments of society that still might not have like XM or like an iPhone connected to their car,
Yeah.
that sometimes they do still listen to the radio. I
Yeah, of
do
course.
believe that La Gente still
Hmm.
listens to the radio. I think immigrants still listen to the radio.
Oh yeah.
So in one part, I think that it's good. I think it's a little too little, too late in terms of me being super excited about it. I don't know how much growth they have there. They're
Yeah.
basically just trying to capitalize on the fact that a lot of our people are still kind of in the barrio, in the like in el pueblo, and this and that.
Hmm.
They're still sort of listening to things like that. So.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
So if they come to us tomorrow and they're like, "We want to put you on in 10 radio markets on
Hell
FM
yeah.
radio," do you think we should take that deal?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I
I
would love
would.
to I would love to do a
Yeah.
radio show.
Yeah. Although I think that that radio is on the decline, I don't think it's anytime soon. So I think Gen X is probably the cap. I think that millennials and down, so millennials to Gen Z, we listen more to other stuff, but like as far as Gen X and up, it's like they still listen to the radio. My dad, he's the older Gen X, but yeah, he only listens to the radio. So I don't know. I think there's still a market. So the market's not done.
Market is not done.
Mm-mm.
Johnny says radio is still the most listened medium from cars to those who are not on social media. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's a niche market
Yeah.
that is actually really big and
Yeah.
isn't touched by traditional like social media.
Exactly.
Like the people that would listen to us on AM radio are definitely not in any way, shape, or form the same people that would listen to us on podcast stations or on Twitch or on YouTube or on Facebook.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I think there is still a huge audience there, but it is a majority mostly poor, mostly middle to lower class, working class segment. So
Hmm.
if their goal is to better educate those people and put on more programming, I have a feeling that it'll sort of be left leaning to
Hmm.
sort of, because I think there's still a lot of radio, but most of it is like um right leaning, conservative leaning, sort
Hmm.
of almost religious kind of in nature. There's stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Mhm.
could be something. It could be nothing. All right. You were
Yeah.
talking about your girl AOC.
Oh yeah.
Um, she
What?
said that defended using the word Latinx to describe Hispanic men and women over the weekend and slammed the Democratic colleagues who she say rail against it.
Mm.
Despite, and this is the big thing, despite polling data indicating that most Hispanics don't use the term or virulently object to it. In the spirit of pride, I want to have a note on gender inclusivity. People sometimes like to make a lot of drama over the term Latinx, but even before Latinx, people were trying to do this, like use an at symbol to have the A and the O and Latino and Latina together. Gender is fluid, language is fluid. You don't have to make drama over it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you feel about her sort of trying to? I mean, the fact of the matter is, most Latinos don't like the term.
Nope.
Like I said, el pueblo, the
Mm-hmm.
barrio, does not like the term.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I use it because I like to be inclusive and it doesn't really cost me anything.
Yeah.
But I was doing a promo for our show and I made a banner that said two Latinos and a microphone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I thought that was kind of a cool. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, would they really think that this is two Latino males and a microphone, right?
No.
You know,
No.
but then I
Yeah.
stopped. I realized I cared too much.
Yeah.
Where do you
Well,
fall on that?
I I fall under the I use it as well because I like to be inclusive y como dijiste, like no me cuesta nada. So yeah, why not? But I also don't mind the people that prefer Latino with the at symbol. As long as you're not being a dick about it is my thing. Like, because listen, language is fluid. Yes, language is constantly changing. It will always and forever be continuously changing and growing. So the people that have like, ay, válgame Dios, you know, clutch my pearls. I hate Latinx. Like, what the fuck is Latinx? Like, fuck everyone. Like, fuck. There's only two
Latinx.
genders. Yeah, like the people that are like, whoa, like really go out of their way to be like, there's only two genders and blah blah. Now you're just being like non-inclusive on purpose. Now you're just being a
Right.
transphobe. Now, so as long as you're not in the two extremes where it's like you have to use Latinx, and if you use Latino, you suck and you're not inclusive and go to hell. Or the, you know, fuck you kids and the fucking changing the language and trans people don't exist and blah blah. Like those two people can shut the fuck up. Okay. It's fine. I think it's inclusive. I think if it makes you feel better, y a mí no me cuesta nada, I'm going to use it. Do I prefer it? Not really, because the language still hasn't progressed to the point where it's genderless. Un vaso, dos latinos. So sadly, that's not where the language is, but I'll use it. And I don't hate it and I don't dislike it. So I really hate the people that are hating on it and the people that are super pro for it. So I don't know. Where do you fall?
I file somewhere in the middle. Like I said, my
Yeah.
rant has always been that at some point the Latino language decided what was what. You know, la puerta, female,
Mm-hmm.
el camión,
Mm-hmm.
masculine. But then Mexicans say la troca. Okay, so it goes both ways.
Yeah.
You know, la casa, pero you know, la cocina. You know, el perro.
El
You know,
hogar.
el hogar, el carro, la
Yeah.
camioneta. So even a car and a truck, el carro, la camioneta. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's not.
El
There's no rule. There was no let's say what things are cool and let's call those masculine and what things are girly and call those feminine. It's literally what sounds better.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally what sounds better
Yeah.
either with an O or an A. That's that's
Grammar. That's it.
that's
Yeah.
that's all it is. So my issue is that the origins of the gendering is not coming from an evil place.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we say O instead of A is not because we were trying to put women down. It's because it sounded better calling certain things masculine and certain things feminine. Just like there's many one-offs in the English language. English is one of the hardest languages to learn because there's so many like I before E, but only after this. And then in this case, you this. And in this case, it sounds like this, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
there's so many instances of it. And I think that's just one of the intricacies of the Spanish language that we just decided this is an A, this is a no, go
Mm-hmm.
have it, learn them, and that's it. And so to then apply some sort of, I don't want to say woke aesthetic, but some sort of forward thinking aesthetic to it and saying that, like I said, that's what my issue comes down to is I don't think that the reason the language was that was from my knowledge was
Mm-hmm.
based on a masculine or a sexist ideology. I think it was
Yeah.
based on practicality and how it sounded.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that that if you want to use Latinx for non-binary people, it doesn't cost me anything, and I
Mm-hmm.
always use them both. But I would never feel comfortable going completely fully Latinx.
Yeah. No,
It's
because then you're erasing the other genders. So for example, it's the same situation with he and she versus they and them, and so I'm still a Latina. I'm still she, hers. Those are my pronouns. So if you call me they, them, I don't. It doesn't feel right. If you call me Latinx, I take it, but you don't have to strictly call me that. If you call me Latina, I'm not gonna be like, oh, because I am a Latina. Latino doesn't sound right unless it's like multiple of people. But for me
Right.
specifically,
So if I
it
say
doesn't go with my gender. It's misgendered.
if I say tune into Mi Gente show, two Latinos in a microphone, you don't feel any sort of way because of that, right?
No, because you're here. But if it was just me and I say like turn into this Latino in a microphone, I'm a female, so that doesn't feel right to me.
Right.
So the same way that doesn't feel right to me, I am okay for non-binary people. I almost want to have this conversation with trans and non-binary Latinos specifically because to see how they feel, because I feel like they're the only ones that can really say like, oh, Latinx makes me feel good. In which case, I don't mind using it. But it shouldn't be like strictly the only term that's okay for
Yeah.
like for you and me. We can be Latinos as well because it's you and me and we know our pronouns. But if it's like the mass, then yeah, non-binary and trans people are bound to be in that mass, and so Latinx probably fits best. I don't know. That's where
Got
I'm
it.
at.
No, no. I think we're in agreement.
Yeah.
I think we're in
As
agreement.
always, middle ground. Like we're such the middle of the road people.
The gray area here. All
Yeah.
right. Moving on to the Supreme Court. Two things happening in the Supreme Court. One of them that you brought up, which is the Supreme Court shields border agents from lawsuits over excessive force.
Hmm.
Basically, as you said in a 6-3 decision, the court's conservative said that in nearly all instances, federal agents may not be held liable for
Hmm.
violating constitutional rights unless Congress has authorized such lawsuits for damages. Our
Hmm.
cases have made clear that in all but unusual circumstances, prescribing a cause of action is a job for Congress, not the courts. Basically, what this does, and the area that this is sort of talking about, is the 100-mile border enforcement zone, which is what the Border Patrol uses as like the catch-all for whenever they want to do something that's a little bit shady
Hmm.
or take action that normally is not within their purview. Basically,
Hmm.
what this says is that any 100 miles within any border becomes an area where they can enforce their rules and they can sort of take action, stop anybody they want.
Hmm.
Obviously, this has affected us here in San Diego because we are literally on the border, but it also
Hmm.
affects pretty much every other major city, a lot of major cities that are not in the middle of the country. If you go by the fact that the ocean is a border,
Hmm.
or that the ocean is a border, not just our border with Mexico and not our border with Canada, then that affects every city from Los Angeles to Sacramento to Portland, Seattle. In the north, basically all of Michigan, Green Bay, Milwaukee, Chicago,
Hmm.
Buffalo, Detroit, New York, Boston, Philadelphia, DC, Miami, Tampa. All of these
Yeah.
cities are all within 100 miles of the border.
Hmm.
So this was your topic, Sophia. How do you feel?
I'm fucking angry. Oh my god, I'm fucking livid. Holy shit. The fact that oh, this is another thing that they did, Lou. This is another thing. The Supreme Court, they literally just said, fuck the citizens, fuck your constitution. Border Patrol people can have any any fucking unreasonable search and seizure and fucking abuse you and do whatever, and you can't sue them. You can't go after them because they are protected. Um, it's just infuriating. The fact that if I was undocumented and I don't know, and they catch me, they can rape me. They can throw me back into Mexico or something, and you can fucking you can't even whine about it. You can't even say shit because they are not allowed to be sued anymore. So they can punch you, they can grab you, they can whatever. It's not
Basically,
an
it's like
unreasonable. Yeah, they're
it's like a
protected.
it's like a their version of qualified immunity, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what they said? The fucking audacity was like, oh, no, no, but you can complain. You can obviously, if you have a grievance, you can complain, but it's not going to be under a court anymore. Like it's not allowed to be in a court with a jury. Your case is only going to be submitted directly to the offices where they work, and it's going to be overlooked by one of their coworkers. So the border patrol agents are going to be overlooking each other's grievances, complaints, I guess, and then they'll deem if it's exactly. Thank you, Johnny Papas. Is fucking awful. It's just disgusting. Like it's another. This is directly affecting to Latinos, immigrants, anybody that has an issue with border patrol agents, and they are They're immune to anything, and it's absolutely disgusting. I'm so done with the Supreme Court justice. Like, I'm so done.
I well, my thoughts on this are very similar. Obviously, I think this is kind of the equal of qualified immunity for police,
Mm-hmm.
and it also it is horrible for immigrants or anybody that looks like an immigrant, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it puts you in danger. Not only, this is something that we've had to deal with living in a border town, the presence of border patrol agents all over the place.
Yeah.
But and then I was one of the people that gave the border patrol some praise because some of them did actually were the ones that broke into the Uvalde school district when the cops wouldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of brave guys from the border patrol around. So this is a huge step backwards, a
Yeah.
huge step backwards, because you're basically cutting the country in half. Because what the fuck is here in the middle? I mean, Chicago full of Mexicans, New York full of Puerto Ricans, Colombians, Philadelphia, DC,
Like,
Miami.
dude, the fact that you can just get stopped, get searched, get punched, get whatever, and you can't sue them. Like that. I'm very lucky I'm a light-skinned Latina and I probably won't, you know, do anything for me. But we live in a border town. I worry for people that I love. I worry for people that I don't know. I worry for people that are trying to cross. Like, this is just disgusting, dude. It's like, ah. Sotomayor, can I read what she said? Um, She said, today's decision does not overrule Bivens. It nevertheless contravenes precedent and it will strip many more individuals who suffer injuries at the hands of other federal officers and whose circumstances are materially indistinguishable from those in Bivens of an important remedy. She fought it, but, outnumbered 6-3.
Yeah, Justice Sotomayor is probably just like, she's just hanging in there, man. She's hanging in.
I
She's
I feel
hanging in
so
there,
bad.
but
Like, she has to show up to work every day. Like, that sucks.
yeah, this is crazy.
Ah.
Um, the other thing that was happening with the border patrol today, and was not border patrol, but in terms of the Supreme Court, is that somebody showed up at Justice Kavanaugh's house with gun, tape, tactical equipment. So it was just a regular ass outing, because obviously when they saw those people that were doing that on January 6th, there was nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with
No.
having tactical equipment, hand
Yeah.
ties and stuff like that. But Republicans proving once again that they will do anything that they have to when it's something for them,
Uh,
immediately tried to pass an extra level of security law, um, while doing absolutely nothing to stop the
mhm.
spread of gun violence, because what's more important to them is literally more important for them to maintain a supermajority in the court than to protect the lives of innocent kids. So, hey, do I feel bad that Justice Kavanaugh is somebody who was trying to kill him? I don't know.
Were
I mean,
were they trying to kill him, or was it a form of protest?
no, the guy said he wanted his life to have meaning, so he wanted to kill. So he wanted to kill Justice Kavanaugh.
Oh my god, that would no, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say hate speech. Wow, what snowflakes, right?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm
they
saying.
they do get a
God.
little snowflakish after a while. Like I said, man, Democrats are cucks, Republicans are the devil. This is
Yeah.
where we are.
Well, fun fact, we didn't really report on it when it happened, but when the Roe v. Wade thing was happening, literally that week, there was a group of protesters that went to Kavanaugh's I think it was Kavanaugh, or no, it was the Supreme Court justice. It was whatever that guy's name, I forget. But they went to his house and they dressed like the Handmaid's Tale. And they followed all the protesting rules. They were however many feet away from his home. They had, they were chanting, they were whatever. And he got so butthurt that they were like, we need to do something about this. Like, even though it's legal, it's literally our only right is to fucking protest. Like, we can do this. And I believe I'll do more research on it, but I believe they actually successfully passed a law that you're not allowed to congregate or
Yeah,
protest in front of your leaders, like Senate, anything like
look,
that's
this
house.
this is not a surprise. When Republicans were for gun control. Do you know the
Yeah,
one time in history when Republicans were for gun control is when the Black Panthers started to open carry.
of course. Ah,
So as soon as Black Panthers and in the 60s and 70s started open carrying to say, okay,
mhm.
these are the rules of your government. We're going to open carry and we're going to protect ourselves. That's coincidentally where they were like, maybe we don't want too much
Mm.
open carry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is like the bill that I told you that passed. I'm gonna do more research on it. I will, but it's just it pisses me off the idea that we can't get anything passed. We can't get free healthcare. We can't get any tuition help. We can't get a rate like a fucking pay raise. Like nothing can get passed. But then when it's something that a Supreme Court justice or someone in the Senate like Kavanaugh feels threatened, oh, rapidito. Rapidito, they pass it and oh my god, we have to make it into law now. It's so annoying. I'm like, you guys are useless.
They're very clearly just
Ugh.
incredible. It's so crystal clear what they like to do. Mitch McConnell calls on Democrats to pass Supreme Court security bill after man arrested outside Brett Kavanaugh's house.
Mhm.
House Democrat. Let me do my House Democrats must this bill, and they need to do it today. No more
Yeah.
fiddling around with this. They need to pass it today before the sun sets. Um, Nancy Pelosi, another corrupt piece of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of what their outrage of the day is, even though they claim they never become outraged.
Right.
All right, here in Latinidad, Shakira
Yes.
announces split from Barcelona legend Gerard Piqué after
What?
11 years today.
What?
Okay, so you're saying there's a
She's
chance.
single. Okay.
Okay, she's Colombian. I'm Colombian. She's a
She want to
singer. I'm a
experiment a little
filmmaker.
bit, She want to experiment
Mm,
a little bit.
she's got. I'm a good stepdaddy. There's a lot of
I'm a good stepmama. Listen.
things. So you're saying there's a chance. She's 45, keeping it together. Hey, I'm
Mm,
45. Two kids. She's got tons of money. So
I could use a sugar mama.
we could
Shaki,
use Shakira as a sugar mama. All
Shaki,
right,
call me.
let's do a little palate cleanser here. This guy, what's you guys doing?
Oh my
Hold on a
god,
second.
loud.
This guy dresses up like his cat. Does he dress up like his cat, or does his cat dress like him?
Chicken or the egg? Who knows?
I like that one. I like that. Yeah,
Oh, that's a good one.
it's a good cat. It's a good cat. It's a good palate cleanser. We're looking at pictures of guys that's dressed like the cats. Oh, look at that executive cat. Yeah, executive
I gotta dress
cat.
you up. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
gotta dress Cookie up like something.
Yeah.
Hum, hum,
Really.
hum.
Oh, look at that. Look at that with the sun
Hum,
hat
hum,
and
hum.
the little thing. She
Oh
gives
my
him
god, I
back.
get the sunflower. Oh my god.
Oh, look at that with the Guido suit.
That
That's
cat
really-
has that cat's wardrobe is way more expensive than mine.
Yeah, look at that with the glass. What kind of cat wears glasses? All right. Anyway, that's a little
Stylish.
palate cleanser. We have to add those in. All right, moving right along. This is something that's not surprising to anybody. Disney executive says Johnny Depp can return for the next pirate movie. This is an ex Johnny Depp executive that says, I absolutely believe post verdict that Pirates is prime for rebooting with Johnny as Captain Jack on board. An unnamed former Disney exec told People magazine, there's just too much potential box office treasure for a beloved character deeply embedded in the Disney culture.
Well, hell yeah.
So again, no surprise there.
No. After that, after the amount of fans that he has after the trial, like I'd be like, hell yeah. Let's get this baby on the road.
Warner Brothers, and on the other side, Warner Bros. Reportedly had a meeting and decided to remove all of Amber Heard's scenes from Aquaman 2. I don't know if this is going to happen for that, but
She should sue for defamation. All I'm saying is she should sue for defamation.
you want to go for a trifecta, third trial?
Yeah. A trilogy, a trequel.
A trequel. It's separate. It's separate the artist from the person until it's a woman.
Ah, man. Well, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
We have said so much about this.
Okay,
My mind has not changed.
I was just gonna say that.
That sucks.
All right, and then moving right along here, this little cutie is going up to space. Future Sofia Carrillo ex-wife.
Oh, yes.
She.
Well, don't make it awkward, God. Why are you making it awkward?
Hey, look at her little spacesuit.
She's so cute. Is she the one from City College?
Yeah, she's the one from City College.
Yes, bitch. Woo.
Yes. Katia is going to space, so we salute her.
Hell yeah.
This is something that you had brought up. Okay, let me see this. Okay,
I brought something up. Let me see.
this is okay. This is an interesting one. As we see, this is from Reddit. This is hold up. So he's taking the pants down. Oh no, the Uno reverse card. And oh no, not again.
Yikes. All right. All right.
Yeah, I added that one because I know you're a fan of the pegging. So
Peg the stallion.
peg the stallion. Um, in another news of the cops being pieces of crap here, after a man drowns in Arizona, officials say police aren't trained in water rescue. So, if you watched anything in the news this week, there was a guy that was threatening to kill himself. Two Arizona police were there. He was here in front of a lake, in front of a river area. And they basically said, I'm going to throw myself off. And they're like, well, if you do, we're not going after you. He threw himself off, began to drown, and the cops said, we're not going to go in after you. We're going to just go ahead and let you literally just watch you die. He started saying, I'm drowning. The police, basically, we already know the cops and the Supreme Court has ruled do not have to, they're not there to protect you. They're not there to put their life on the line for you. And this is something, unfortunately, that we've had to learn over and over again, from them standing outside while school shootings are happening, from them basically being quick to shoot unarmed people, but not quick to jump in to help you. So again,
What's your take on that?
my take on it is that that's why they don't make songs about fucking the fire department, because the fire department, their job is literally to put their lives on the line, run into burning buildings to save you. Cops show up, write a report. Yes, sometimes they get in shootouts with people, but I don't know, man. Cops are there to protect themselves. They have a very strong union. I think at some, police departments were funded from, back in the day when they were chasing down slaves, the slave patrols. They have a racist history. Obviously, as a Latino, it's hard to be super pro police. It's weird because a lot of the border patrol and cops in the area and in the South and around the borders sometimes are Latino. So it's kind of it's a weird position to be in, to just blatantly say, fuck cops or fuck all cops. I think it's like a majority of cops are sort of making themselves look bad. I really would like to, and I've had cops in my family, so I would love to respect them. But if they're asking for level 4 armor, if they're asking for all this money, for all this qualified immunity, then I think some of that has to be risking yourself for other people. There's got to be a part of you that's brave enough to go in when you're not supposed to. There's got to be a part of you that is that. That's kind of where I fall on it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you on that sentiment. On this particular issue, I'm a little if you were gonna hate me, I might get canceled, but I'm a little, I don't know, I'm a little broken up about it. On this particular one though.
Why? What do you?
Because I saw the video where they were talking to the guy about jumping. And they, like, fair warning, they literally were like, we're not going to jump in there for you. Please don't jump. And then he jumps. And then once he's in there, he's like, help, help. It's like, if I was the cop, I hate to say it, but I told you I wasn't going to jump in there, bro. Now, two things. I think that in that scenario, if they're not water trained, especially with that tide and that fucking water situation, don't do that, because it's just going to be two drowning ducks. Like, don't do it. I've almost drowned on the beach. Good Samaritan went to get the lifeguard. Lifeguard helped me. Great. He's trained. So I would have never told the Good Samaritan, like, hey, get in here with me. So no. So I don't mind that they didn't jump in. They said that they called somebody. They were like, because the wife was then yelling unrelentlessly, which, like, fair. And I think they told her, we called somebody. If that's a lie, then yes, they're pieces of shit. If that's not a lie, then unfortunately, in my opinion, I think that's all that could be done. It's like we called for help, they're on their way.
What about
That's my thought.
okay, that's a brave take there.
Yeah,
Uh,
feel free to change my mind. You definitely can. It's not set in stone, but continue.
okay. Well, they have beanbags, right? They have shotguns with beanbags. They have tasers.
Mhm.
They have all these things that they can use. If you feel that somebody's going to take their life or jump somewhere where you're not going to be like, why not tase them? You're
Yeah,
you're 2 feet away from them.
yeah. So the de-escalation is something that they for sure need more training in, or they need to fucking just that's their job. So for sure they
Mm.
should have tased him. They should have done anything to get him off of there. Um,
Yeah, because I think it's like you're
yeah,
asking an unreasonable person
to reason. Yeah.
to make a reasonable decision and to put two and two together. Like
Hmm.
they're like, I'm a person that's stressed. I'm having a bad time. I'm having a real bad time. Just because you say I'm not jumping in after you doesn't mean that that's gonna equate in my mind, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about suicide attempts is that people that have survived, survived suicide attempts, almost to a man or woman, say that the minute they go over that edge, they immediately they immediately regret it.
Hmm.
That once they go over the edge, they immediately the fight or flight sort of component kicks in, and you immediately feel bad and say, "Oh fuck, I messed up. I want to live."
Yeah, which is clearly
So,
what I think happened here. Yeah.
so you're dealing with a distressed person. Use some of that gear. Fucking lasso them up. Tie them up. Shoot them in the fucking knee. Do something.
I don't know that that would have been received well. Shoot him in the knee. I mean, same. I agree. I agree your sentiment, but I don't think that that would have been received any better with the
I
media.
mean, if the option is just watch him drown, I don't know how if you're like, you want them to watch you drown or you're about to do something,
Yeah.
have
Like
them shoot you in the foot.
the thing is, because cops are equipped to the fucking like they're militarized. So on land, like you don't send a Marine to do Air Force duties. You know what I mean? So on
Mhm.
land, yeah, I hold them to a different standard. If with the school shooter, you have everything. You have SWAT gear. Go in the fucking school and save them. Put your life on the line. Yes. Now, when you get water involved, I don't know, man. I've been there, and I don't like. For first of all, as a mental health professional, if someone is on edge, is literally on the fucking ledge, call a professional. So they should have done that to begin with. Called a mental health professional, gotten someone there that knows what the fuck they're doing to help him get off the ledge. If they didn't do that, they fucked up. Now once he's already in the water, what can you do? Call a fucking ambulance, call professionals, call lifeguards, call fucking US Coast Guard. That's I don't know what the cops themselves could have done if they're not trained. So I'm not justifying their actions. I'm not saying that it's not a cruel and disgusting situation, but I just don't know what they could have done. And I think that people are using the feelings that we have towards Uvalde and putting them towards fuck all cops. Fuck all cops. And in this situation, I'm like, well, in my opinion, they're a little different.
Okay, I can see where that's coming. I just think
Yeah.
that, like I said, this is another area for me where I'm like, yeah, definitely call a professional, somebody who can
Mhm.
de-escalate them, get that. But I mean, if the guy's going to go over the edge and you know that you're not going in after him, then stop him from going over the edge. You
Yes.
know,
Do
you
it.
know,
Do what you can. So first thing would have been calling their services like for that. So first should have been calling fucking reinforcements with a mental health professional. And then yeah, you do what you can. But yeah, once he's in the water, that's when I'm like, I don't blame them for not jumping. Like I'm also not gonna be like, go drown with him. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
Like
mean,
I
you got
wouldn't, yeah, like I said, I almost drowned. I would have never been like, why the fuck aren't you saving me? Like, no, the guy got the lifeguard and he saved me. He did his job. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's like, yeah, it's a hard one.
it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. All right. Moving right along. Let me see what we got here. We're almost done here. This one is for Kurt, if he's still there. Oral sex sends Florida man crashing into FedEx truck. So here's, don't, this is Florida man here. It
Oh.
was, and here's, it was a head-on collision. Uh,
Ah,
a
but it was.
distracted Florida man receiving oral sex smashed directly into a FedEx truck in Fort Lauderdale Thursday, injuring his groin.
Oh my! Of all things.
The unidentified man and his female companion, well, at least they weren't gay, were both found partially naked after the collision just before 7 p.m. Images show the front ends. So this guy was getting a little funsy times,
Oh.
and yeah. So hey, man,
Did they die?
he,
Are they
no,
okay?
no,
Okay.
he's just a little growing problem.
Okay.
Nothing too major.
How's her head?
Well, how do you think he injured his groin? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
if you ever watch or read the book,
ow.
what is that book that it was a movie by Robin Williams?
Yeah. I forgot.
Oh, The World According to Garp, I think is
Never.
the name of it.
I
And
have
one
no
of the
idea.
spoiler alert, one of the things that happens is that his wife is in the driveway giving some guy head, and it's like one of those driveways where you're used to driving into it and you kind of turn your lights off or whatever because you already know where you are. And he had his lights off and he didn't see the other car in the driveway and he plowed into it and the guy's dick
Mhm.
got cut off because she was going down on him at the time. So you always got to be careful of that. Be
Yep.
careful. You know, if you're in
Yeah.
a car,
You
you
guys are
know,
just, you know, nilly
you're
willy
it.
about this, putting your dick everywhere. Just y'all gotta
Yeah, be
be
careful.
careful.
My namesake, Prince Louis,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
at the Queen's Jubilee, acting out. Making the faces, screaming.
Joffrey. He is little
Uh,
fucking King Joffrey.
well, he's Prince Louis, so he's a man of my own name. How do you feel about kids in public and stuff like that? Should we expect more from them?
um
That's fucking classic, though.
yeah,
My
that is
God,
classic. I love that picture. That's great.
like
I didn't like the behavior. I work with kids and I saw the video and I was just like, please teach him better. Please give him morals and ethics and values. Please. That's not cool. So he's a little brat. Kids are kids, but also don't excuse it. So I think he needs some. I don't know. He needs some more. What is that called? I'm tired. What is it? Cuando los papás te like, he needs. I
he
don't
needs a
fucking.
a little chin check.
No, pendejo. Hubiera dicho las chanclas. No. Um, I don't know. I don't know. He just needs a talking to. Okay. He needs to fucking get edumacated. I don't know.
All right. Moving right along here. An Australian woman has revealed how her long-term boyfriend blocked her on social media and shacked up with another woman while she was in a coma after a devastating accident. So she's 25, living in Canada with her partner of 4 years. She fell headfirst from a parking garage in August of 2021. She was
Head
in a
first.
coma. She was in a coma for I think like 10 weeks, and she was basically she was in a coma for a while, but she
Whoa.
survived. Her parents couldn't come to see her because of COVID. They were going to take her off of life support. Her parents didn't allow that. So basically she woke up after a few weeks. They went
Mhm.
to get her phone. Her boyfriend never came to visit her, and as soon as they gave her her phone, she had a message from another woman that said, "Hey, FYI, your boyfriend lives with me now. Don't try to contact him again."
Oh, that's cold. Oh shit. Oh my
S-
god.
So, how long would you wait if you were in a 4-year relationship
Ah,
before ghosting your girlfriend or boyfriend that was in a coma?
ah, 4 years. Ghosting is cold as hell to begin with. 4 years.
Hmm.
She was 10-week coma. 10 weeks.
Yeah, I think she was in the hospital for like 5 months altogether in recovery and
Oh,
stuff like that.
okay. All
But
right.
she was out, completely out for like, I think she was completely out for like 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. Let's say it's like 6 weeks.
Okay.
So your
But
boyfriend, girlfriend's in a coma for 6 weeks. You don't know if they're ever going to wake up.
yeah.
At what point do you just be like,
No. 6 weeks. That's six. You got to stick by them for 6 weeks. That's nothing. Come on.
I, I think you have to
Five
do,
5 months is when I start giving
I
them the
mean,
benefit of the doubt.
she's pretty cute.
Yeah. That's not that I don't care. That if you were with somebody for 4 years, cute or not, I mean, you were with them for 4 years. It's like through sickness and in health, right? If I can't trust you to stick with me for 6 weeks in a coma, like it's not. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Listen,
Humanity.
if you stick by me for 6 months and you're there like 3 or 4 times a week and you're paying attention and you're talking to the doctors and you're doing
Angels.
research,
Yes.
and then you're like, listen, man, and they're like, look, Lou may never wake up again, and you're like, I've been here for 6 months,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm so horny.
And listen, fair. So yeah, fair's fair. So if you did that, you were there every day, 6 months, and all that stuff, and you're like, man, I think she might not wake up, and you find somebody, you fall in love. Who I'm not gonna hold you like it's okay, but 6 weeks and you didn't
Yeah,
even visit once, and then and the cold part is when she does wake up, you still owe her a breakup. You don't let the girlfriend text her and be like, "He moved in with me, don't ever contact him." No, 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 no. You need to break up with her as if the coma happened yesterday. That's what gets me. I'm like, that's fine if you want to move on, but have the decency to break up with her. Gosh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I think if for 4 years, I think there should be math.
Okay.
I think it should be like like if somebody's in a coma, you need to stay by their side at least
Mhm.
1 month for every year that you were together. So if it's a 4 year
Mm.
relationship, I think that's a minimum
4
of four to,
months.
of 4 months.
I like that, yeah.
And I think you need to be there for at least 4 months, four to
Yeah,
6 months, so you don't look like a typical Kardashian. And you need to be there all the time.
yeah.
You need to be there holding her hand, putting her music on for her. You need to try.
Try to get
Now,
her to wake up, yeah.
and if she comes out and it's like it's gonna be a long recovery, and you're like, look, girl, I got so much shit going on. I'll be here for you, but I
Mhm.
stayed with you till the end. I stayed with you till you woke up, but I'm gonna go do my thing now. Then I think that's more understandable. But if
Mhm.
2 weeks in you have an option, hey, come in, ditch that coma girl and move in with me.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up. What gets me is the breakup because I'm like, yeah, you might have gone over her and moved on, but she hasn't. She just woke up and you're still together in her brain. So,
Yeah, you just woke up and her first move was trying to get
yeah,
on the phone with you.
exactly. So, human decency says just at least explain to her, "Hey, this is what happened. I'm so sorry. It's over. I hope you get better if you need, whatever." Like,
She needs at least to wake up to like a Dear John letter, right? I mean,
yeah, something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
this got to be like an 8 page text that you sent her like a month in or something that says, I don't know, I'm heartbroken. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to see you again.
Yeah. This guy literally ghosted. Oh man.
Yeah,
Douchebag of the day.
yeah, he wins douchebag of the year for someone. There's a
Mhm.
lot of douchebags on there. All right, we're almost done here,
Okay.
wrapping up with all these topics that we have here. Here's something that happened recently in the world of sports. All right, we'll just let this play.
Sports.
This is Jack Del Rio, a coordinator for the Washington football team that's now called the Commanders.
Okay.
Let's get right down to it. What did I ask? A simple question. Why are we not looking into those things? If we're going to talk about it, why are we not looking into those things? Because it's kind of hard for me to say I can realistically look at it. I see the images on TV. People's livelihoods are being destroyed. Businesses are being burned down. No problem. And then we have a dust up at the Capitol. Well, there's nothing burned down. And we're not going to talk about, we're going to make that a major deal. I just think it's got two standards. And if we apply the same standard and we're going to be reasonable with each other, let's have a discussion. Let's get
All right.
You're making
So,
it very hard for me to like sports today.
yeah. So he equates the two standards between the Black Lives Matter protests and the January 6th insurrection, calling the January 6th insurrection a dust up. Now, NFL really went full sort of, the NFL is somebody that blackballed Colin Kaepernick for taking a knee against police violence, basically people used the NFL as a very political issue, saying they would stop watching the NFL because it got too woke. They started posting and painting Black Lives Matter on the end zone while they still didn't let Colin Kaepernick work. And this is a sport that's probably 80%, 70% African American. This is a coach that coaches a defense that's probably 70% African American.
Mhm.
And it's a very, very, very weak take. So this lasted for a day, and the sports world pretty much called him a clown. It was basically, and then of course you understand that the racists come out and say, well, how's he wrong? You know, this is a Black
Of
Lives Matter
course.
protest. This is a January 6th insurrection. There's a difference between, and then this is the he's right though crowd, which is I love
Yeah.
this. I love this
Oh
image. I
my
love this
god.
image. And your Wixer. So I think
Yeah.
that the internet's undefeated, obviously, but so and then a lot of athletes came out against them, and of course,
Oh, that's good.
afterwards he issues the obvious apology that comes afterwards.
Have the right to express ourselves, especially if you're being respectful. I'm being respectful. I just asked a simple question. Really, did I? Let's get right down to it. What did I ask? A simple question. Why are we not looking into those things? If we're going to talk about it, why are we not looking into those things?
Was
It's
this?
kind of hard for me to say.
That doesn't sound like an apology to me.
Realistically, look
No.
at it. I see the images on TV.
Yeah.
People's livelihoods are being destroyed.
Stop
Businesses
talking.
burned down. No problem. And then we have a dust up at the
Okay,
Capitol.
this is the same video, but basically,
Totally.
his statement was, I made comments earlier today, referencing the attack that took place on the United States Capitol, referencing that situation as a dust up was irresponsible and negligent, and I am sorry. I stand by my comments condemning violence in communities across the country. I say that while also expressing my support as an American citizen to peaceful protests. I have fully supported all peaceful protests in America. I love, respect, and support all my fellow coaches, players, and staff. So probably a bad move to say that when you're when they yeah, Johnny, he's an idiot. There's a plot to overthrow the government. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a difference between protesting police violence and basically state sanctioned murders versus protesting an election that didn't go your way.
Exactly.
They're trying to hang the vice president.
Yeah, breaking and entering, and God knows, like, if they would have gotten their hands on any lib at the Capitol, which they were there, they had to run for their lives. Like, could you imagine? Yeah, they
Yeah,
were ready to hang people and shit.
Pelosi, AOC, any of them get caught, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks ago, somebody asked a question on the internet, which was, would you rather fight a chicken every time you get into your car,
Oof.
or would you rather fight an orangutan with a sword once a year? Now,
Fuck.
my question at the time was, do I have the sword, or does the orangutan have the sword? Or do
Oh,
both of them have sword?
yeah.
But let's take a look at this video of an orangutan, and then we can make that decision. Okay.
Yeah, no. I've already made it. They're scary as fuck. No! No, Dios, no!
Give me that leg, motherfucker.
Oh my god. Oh, he's gonna break it. Oh, he's gonna break it. Stop it. Ah, I don't like it. Oh no, I don't like it. Yeah, I was gonna go with the chicken anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't break his. He doesn't destroy. I thought right there, like his leg was gonna go
It's
through.
gonna crack. Oh, okay. Oh, good. They stopped the video. Okay.
No. The second part of it, like he does get him. He does like let go of. He was like, just let him have the freaking shoe, and that was kind of like where they're like, all right, but he was holding on to it. Like, he was trying to eat it right there at the end. You see it?
Oh my, yeah. What the?
He tries to nibble on it. He's like, give me that shit, right? Give me that. He was about to bite the motherfucker's toe off.
So it's like clearly chicken every morning, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely we're gonna go with fight a chicken every time you get into your car.
Yeah.
So every time you open your car,
scratches.
and you gotta
Yeah.
like smack the chicken around,
And then you have
throw it out
dinner,
there. Yeah, then you got tons of protein available to you.
Exactly.
All right.
Sorry, PETA. That was mean. Jeez.
the last thing that I think I wanted to touch on before I just have one other rant that I wanted to do, but Matthew McConaughey had a very impassionate street
Mhm.
um, in front of at the White House a few
Right.
days ago. Of course, it was very predictable that the right then went to took up pictures of every Matthew McConaughey movie where he either had a gun, and they basically were trying to say, why does Matthew McConaughey is from Uvalde, that
Mhm.
is his hometown. And it was very interesting to me what he said. It was incredibly heartbreaking. The stories that he told. He brought kids shoes. He brought kids artwork. I couldn't watch the entire thing. But I guess the question is, do you think that it's going to take more stuff like that, celebrities and people coming forward? Because I mean, when you think of Matthew McConaughey, you don't think of a leftist, right? You think kind of like a Texas kind of good old
Yeah.
boy. You think of somebody like that, and do you think that they're generically speaking, that this will bring about some sort of tangible change?
Change. Um, I would hope so, but I'm not sure. I also am woefully unprepared for this. I haven't seen his speech.
Mm,
It's on my feed, so but I know that he also went with a plan um for gun reform, right?
mhm.
So he like laid out a plan and everything. I haven't watched it, so I'm not entirely sure. As far as a celebrity though, I do think that the more voices and the more big names that you can get behind, I think that's helpful. And I hope something fucking changes, but we do live in an oligarchy where the NRA is very much in power. They invest millions and millions of dollars to our politicians. So I don't know, but I don't like to be that person that's, hopeless, and so I hope so. Um
Yeah, I think mentally prepare yourself for it if you're going to watch it, because it is kind of a rough
mhm.
situation. Just kind of the stuff that he brings up, but I think it was very earnest, and I just think that, man, it was so fucking pathetic how Fox News and other right wing organizations just immediately try to just.
Yeah.
They're so well trained. It's like, not enough doors. The door was propped open. Video games. Anything.
Mhm.
They will do mental gymnastics that are fucking impressive,
Mhm.
just to not have to say, maybe we could use some just fucking common sense gun laws. Like,
Yeah.
they just. Here's my question for gun advocates. Here's the question that I've been mulling over this week. You're a Second Amendment advocate, right? You're a person that believes that if you're an American in this country, you should have the right to own any gun, no matter how powerful it is, right?
Mhm.
You have a bunch of guns that you've bought over your life. An 18-year-old kid comes to you and wants to buy an AR-15 that you have, okay? And you believe that he has the right to buy it. And while you're talking to him, you're like, what do you need the gun for? Is it for hunting, home protection? He's like, yeah, you know what? A little hunting, a little gun protection, and I might feel like killing like 30 or 40 people someday. They say it. They say that to you. Do you, as a gun owner, still feel that it's your right, that you're still going to sell that person that gun? Now, you could say, well, obviously, if they say I'm going to kill a bunch of people, I'm not going to sell them that gun. Or if you're just a second, if you believe so hardcore that even damaged and mentally ill people should have massacre causing guns, then there is literally no hope for you as a human being, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that if at any point you take a look at that question and say, well, if they specifically said, I'm going to use this gun to kill a bunch of people, if somebody's told you that and you're like, well, that's your right as an American, here's your gun, right? Then you're a piece of shit, I think. If at any point you're like, wait, well, I guess I don't, if you even paused, then you guess what? You are literally what the common sense law is for. What the common sense law is against, raise the age, because as we've said time and time again, a lot of these people buy their guns legally, and they had to wait till they were 18 because they couldn't legally buy the gun because their family wouldn't buy them a gun because they knew they were a little weird. So they had to wait to be able to buy that gun legally themselves.
Mhm.
And maybe they couldn't buy that gun illegally, because I think in some essences illegal gun brokers are probably a little bit more less cold-blooded than a gun manufacturer in a gun store that doesn't care what you do with your gun. So to pull the criminals will always find a way to buy guns. I understand that. I understand that gangsters, cartel members, bank robbers, assassins will always be able to go to the black market. But those are not the people we're trying to keep guns away. As weird as that sounds, we're trying to keep guns from people that are going to do irrational things with them, further irrational things for them, and put innocent lives at stake. So, and what do you plan to do with this gun? What is your mental health like? What is the vibe check? And based on answering those questions in a weird way, that might stop somebody from being able to legally buy a gun. So if you would if you would not sell somebody a gun if they told you that they were going to do something horrible with it, then that is precisely what the common sense gun laws are trying to avoid. They're trying to weed out people that are trying to buy these guns for
Mhm.
very specific evil reasons, either by giving them a cooling off period, either by doing a mental evaluation, a training, background check, red flag check, etc. So again, nobody's ever going to take your guns. I fully support people's ability to use guns and to keep guns because, like I said, the chance of government tyranny is never zero. The chance of home invasion, or crimes against you and your family is never zero. The threat of a zombie apocalypse or a revolution is never zero.
Yeah.
So I believe we should have ability to this gun. All I am advocating for is common sense regulation, so that the people that own guns are the people like you, Second Amendment people who believe in liberty, justice, pay their taxes, are not insane, are not horribly racist, etc., etc. That's all we want.
Yeah.
So that's my gun take for the day. Do you
I
agree?
love that. Oh, fuck yeah. Well said. That was an awesome speech. No, I completely
Uh,
agree.
all right, and we have two no Namez Wei questions here, but I do want to do one last round before we get going here. This is going to be a little bit of a Louis rant.
Okay.
All right, we are filmmakers, actors. I'm a director here in San Diego, right?
Oh no, he's lighting up. This is gonna be a while, kids.
All right, I want to talk about Let's Fake It Till You Make It. And this is kind of in general geared towards the independent film industry. And San Diego is the hometown, so I might be throwing some subliminals here against local indie filmmakers as well. The fake it till you make it thing has gone a little bit too far. Okay. I understand where it originates from, you know.
Mhm.
I always talk about, we talk about imposter syndrome. We talk about, I had a talk with somebody that I'm close with, who trains dogs, right? And she's very good at training dogs. She's learned, she taught herself. She's doing a great dog training. My dog, her dogs, other people's dogs. But and I said, well, she told me people will keep asking me if I'm a dog trainer. And I was like, yeah, you need to just start calling yourself a dog trainer. You're a dog trainer. Who the fuck cares, what the schooling is or whatever. That is very, and I gave her an equation of when I first started making films 10 years ago. I always wanted to be a director, but I was afraid to call myself a director. I felt that I hadn't achieved much to be able to call myself a director, right? Then I started getting a couple of films under my belt, and once we did Slapworthy, and I saw the written and directed by Luis Martinez on the screen, that's when I finally felt like a director.
Hmm.
But I was calling myself one beforehand because I recognized that once you start directing films, you're a director, you're a filmmaker, right? That's so in that area, if you call yourself an actress, but you don't want to call yourself an actress until you book the SAG part. No, if you're in the theater, if you're doing this, if that is your art,
Mhm.
you are an actress, right? With
Yes.
me so far?
Yep.
Unfortunately, independent filmmakers have sort of taken that too far. And I'm not going to name names, but I have seen several filmmakers that I know do a lot of things that just seem to be a little bit out of place with what's good for your career. For example, over posting. You know, nobody cares people care when you cast, people care that when you throw some pictures on set, people care when you bring them in behind the scenes and in your process and you give them updates, etc. But nobody cares what you feel the definition of a director is. Nobody gives a fuck about your motivational quotes and pictures of yourself behind the camera. That to me makes you look like a fucking poser. Just put your fucking movie out, show us how it's going, and put the fucking movie out. If you turn something from a web series to a short film to a feature, do that. But I don't need to hear every 2 seconds about the importance of a director or all the important quotes from other filmmakers or you taking a life quote and equating it to the film process. There was a guy here locally a few years back, and he would post stuff like this. And the dude ended up moving away, and he had like a weird thing with kids and a whole bunch of other shit. All his movies were about like teenage girls and shit. So the guy ended up being kind of weird and creepy. But he would post stuff like, today we have a major conversation scene and we do the actors close-ups. And it's going to take all my strength and courage as a director to build the relationship between me and the actors. Will I be able to coach and coax a great performance out of it? This is what's going to dictate the eventual outcome of this film. And I would take a look at that and say, my fucking God, shut the fuck up. Go make the fucking movie.
Well, that's just pretentious, I think.
Yes, exactly. So there's somebody here locally that does stuff like that, and it's starting to get fucking annoying. All right. And I've said this directly to friends of mine. And I said, I've told a friend, somebody that I've worked with that we both know. And I say, man, you know what the joke is about you? Yeah. And let's call him Bobby. And I said, the joke about you is, hey, did you hear about the movie Bobby is thinking about making?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Go make your fucking movie. The fake it till you make it, making yourself a presence on Instagram, talking about process when you've talked about starting 18 different projects over the last 5 years and you finish one or two of them is unimpressive. It makes you look weak. It makes you look soft. It makes you look like a fucking poser. You know why you don't hear about movies that I'm making? Because I'm not making any movies right now. When I have something to do, I fucking post about it. When I'm behind the scenes, I'll post Instagram. Hey, we're on set, blah, blah, blah. I love bringing people in behind the process and those types of things. But I don't sit there and post a story or 18 different pictures when I'm every time I have an idea for something that I'm going to do, right?
Yeah.
Like I posted I think I posted one thing about, hey, man, you know what? Alien Story 2 is happening and I'm starting the process. I'll let you guys know when something is actually happening, right? But if every other day you see me posting about, blah, 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 today we designed an alien costume and we came up with the name for the solar system where the alien mother planet is taking place, you'd fucking laugh at me.
Yeah,
right?
I would.
So more work, less posting. Get your shit done. Occasionally, yes, bring us along for the ride. But when your entire personality becomes you talking about how awesome you are when you've only directed one fucking thing from all that I know, then it starts to become looking like a poser. And if you feel this is directed at you, you're more than welcome to come on the show and talk about it, obviously.
Yes.
We're putting it on wax, sending the subliminals here locally. All right, here's another thing. Cannes, right? You know where Cannes is, the film festival.
Mm-hmm.
Another filmmaker recently posted that their film got accepted into Cannes. We're going to Cannes with our movie. Great. What do you hear when somebody says that?
They got
They
into
went to-
Cannes. Yeah, they're gonna
Right.
go to this film festival. Yeah,
Right. There's only very few films that are actually part of the actual Cannes competition.
it's very difficult to get into.
Your
competition.
indie feature that was filmed in San Diego is not going to fucking Cannes unless you did an artful, masterful, incredible job with it.
Yes.
It's not. Now, what there is in Cannes is some sort of half-ass short film and other festivals that also are technically in Cannes, France, but are in no way affiliated with the actual Cannes Film Festival. They're not in competition. There is difference between being in competition in Cannes and going to the shorts corner. There's a difference between being in competition at Cannes and and just because there's another festival that runs in Cannes around the same time. You are not part of that festival. Stop faking it till you make it, right? There's also festivals like Indie Spirit and monthly festivals, and I've talked about this before. If you are posting how you got accepted into Indie Fest, that every single person who applies gets accepted, you are a poser.
Ooh.
Okay?
I
You
wanna
are
know.
a fucking poser. Stop posting laurels of non-impressive film festivals. Nobody gives a fuck. Moreover, if somebody takes a look at your poster and sees that half the laurels on there are from shitty monthly and online only industry boost competitions, then you look like a fucking loser. Stop it. Celebrate your victories. If not, hustle harder and make better movies. Okay? One of our films, Insecurity, which I've been working on forever, has been submitted to a local film competition, San Diego Film Week. Okay. I got an email 2 days ago that says, hey, you're going to get a notice on Film Freeway that your film has been accepted. Since this is just an award show, you're not actually accepted. You're not getting laurels. It's not like an acceptance to a film festival. It's just that your film has moved on to the judging and it is going to be in the categories for certain film awards. Excellent. What did I do? Nothing, because there's nothing to do. What does some filmmaker do? They post and they put laurels up, says, hey, we got accepted to the film awards. No, you didn't. I got the same fucking email. It's not the same thing. You didn't get accepted. You simply are now in competition. Stop posting bullshit and fake achievements. It makes you look bad. It is not faking it till you make it. It's posing it and hoping that it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Dollar babies. Do you know what dollar babies are?
No, rich kids.
Babies you
I
can
don't
buy
know.
for $1. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Dollar babies are Stephen King adaptations. Any person, me, you, Joe, Johnny, etc., all these people, if you particularly like a Stephen King story, one of his short books, right? He calls them dollar babies, meaning any student, anybody that wants to make an independent film and not make any money of it, can adapt any Stephen King story of his shorts and make a movie out of it. And he only charges you $1. Why does Stephen King do that? Because he's a badass motherfucker and he doesn't need the money. So he says, yeah, if you want to make a movie out of one of my short books, you can do it. All you're going to pay me about is $1. Yeah, I'm getting right to that, Johnny. All you have to do is pay $1 in rights and you can make a Stephen King movie. I know this because myself and Paul Jarrett we're going to do all that you can't leave, all that you love will be left behind, which is one of the Stephen King short story. And we had a script ready. We were going to adapt it. We still might do it in the future, but so that doesn't make you special. Fan films. Literally any single person on Earth, every single person on Earth can make a Star Wars fan film. Star Trek, not so much. Star Wars, as long as you don't use images, music, etc., you can make Star Wars fan films, right? Posting that you got special permission from Lucasfilms when you just got a form letter that says, go ahead and make your fan film, just don't do these things. Makes you look pathetic. It makes you look like a poser. The only people that are impressed by people posting fake laurels of horrible film festivals that don't matter because they're weekly or monthly or online only. The only people that are impressed when you say, I have the right to make a Star Wars fan film where everybody in the fucking world has that right. That's right, Cookie.
Yeah, she mad.
The only people that are impressed are people that don't know shit about the film business. You're only impressing, not I want to say not important. Maybe there are people in your life that are supporting you, but they're not anybody that's going to really push your career forward. There's faking it till you make it, and then there's straight up just being a fucking film poser. Okay? Dollar babies, anybody can do it. Fan films, anybody can do it as long as you just follow very simple rules. Indie film festivals that are boost competitions where everybody gets excited, cash for laurels, anybody can do it. Faking and saying you got into Cannes when you really got into the fucking short film festival at Cannes and not the actual competition is being a fucking film poser. So, move better, as my friend and roommate and partner Brian says, move better. Move in real bad boys move in silence and violence, right? That's what Biggie said. Hustle quietly, make your projects, keep us in the loop, crowdfund, do what you got to do. But man, enough of this faking it till you're making bullshit that just comes off as disingenuous and fake. Worry more about the quality of the sound in your shitty ass fucking fan film than about posting to make yourself. That's like me saying, Sophia, I just got an email and I just want to let you know that Slapworthy will be available on Amazon Prime starting in 2 months. You'd be like, oh my God, that's so great. You know what's also great? That any single person in the world can post any fucking movie they made on Amazon Prime. It's just a fucking form you fill out.
Yeah.
It's a form you fill out. And you have to decide, do you want to rent this? If you want to rent it for $1.99, Amazon gets $1, you get $1. Do you want to put it out there for free? Well, guess what? It has to stream for 50 hours for you to make $1 on it. So there's all these places where you can get your movie. So when you come off and say this next movie is going to be accepted into Amazon because you're going to self-publish, that's like you saying, hey, I just wrote a book, and you're basically just self-publishing the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my advice to independent filmmakers who I love guerrilla filmmakers. I love the independent spirit. You know that I even have a side project called Ed Wood Film School because I love guerrilla filmmaking. I will support every single one of these filmmakers that I'm talking shit about in a heartbeat. I will consult with you and help you make your film better if I can. I will lend my support. But when you start acting as if you are a big deal at these stages, you just make yourself look bad. The only people that are impressed are people that don't know any better. And the people that are part of the industry are going to look at you like a fucking joke. Okay? The only thing that's going to make your fan film stand out is the quality of it. Right? Not that you posted about it and said George Lucas gave you permission. Not that not that you say fucking Stephen King gave you permission when dollar babies are a thing that everybody should know about. Not when you say that you got to Cannes, when you got really to some fucking third-rate French festival that's taking the name of Cannes. Okay? Move better. Do better. And I'm sorry, man. Like I said, this is my rant. It's something that's been building up inside. Today, the director's journey begins.
God.
And in the moments like this where I do my prep work, I think of all the other greats that have come before me. Like whoever the fuck,
That's so pretentious.
You know what I mean? And again, every single one of you people, if you feel this is about you, holler at your boy. I put it on wax because I don't give a fuck. All right? You want to say, well, Lou, you post stuff about your movies? Yeah, I do, but I make them. I finish them. I got 2 SAG features and 12 shorts that have been in film festivals. Show me what you got. And you're not going to see shit about me until I'm fucking rolling. Yes, one post. That Alien Story was in pre-production. Time to make the donuts. Yes, I am starting pre-production on Alien Story 2. The script is being formed in my head. I'm reaching out slowly to people about they're going to be a part of it, et cetera, et cetera. It is going to be a happen. And as that happens, I am going to bring people on board, part of the journey, my director's vlog, all that shit. But when you turn that into your entire personality, or when you post about these fake accomplishments, you make yourself look bad. And you make me not respect you as a filmmaker. Maybe you don't give a fuck what Lou thinks about you as a filmmaker. Maybe you're happy that your friends and cousins around the country see your posts and they're like, oh my God, congratulations. Like I saw this shit. It's like, congratulations. Oh, I'm getting into Cannes. And it eventually he was like, wait a minute, this movie got into Cannes? Oh, no, actually, no, it was just another competition oh, okay, great. Be honest, okay? And if you're posting about these festivals that are like Indie Boost, these are festivals that are literally cash for laurels. You pay them money, they give you shitty ass laurels. But nobody that knows anything about film is impressed by them. So again, if you feel I called you out, you're more than welcome to come on and respond. I will let anybody talk, but until then, move better.
Damn. Tell us how you really feel. Fuck. Jesus, Lou.
I didn't know. I didn't think I was gonna have the energy for it. I was like, I forgot my rant. I'm gonna have to hype myself up at the end to be able to do
I'm
it.
like 2 hours in, and how did you find the fucking energy? My God. All right, we're sticking
Go ahead.
around after this is done. I just want to know who the fuck this pissed you off this much. Shit. Yeah. No, shush.
I'm
Don't
not
say
gonna say it.
nothing.
No. I was just
Yeah.
reading back because Johnny knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. How about when people say that Lucasfilm gave me permission to do a fan film,
Yeah.
etc. My
That's when you said
cultural
I'm getting to it,
appropriation.
right?
Yeah. I'm getting to it. No, you say. Uh, no. I hope I helped you remind. No, that was one of the things that I saw was the Lucasfilm one because I've seen several people that are like posting stuff like, "I got permission to do a Star Wars fan film." It's like, no, you didn't. Everybody has that permission.
Yeah, everybody could do it.
Now,
Yeah.
if you're talking about Star Trek and CBS have a much stricter fan film policy. If you talk about Morphin Power Rangers, their fan film got taken down. So there's different IPs that'll be functional and something else. Star Wars has a whole film competition, film festival around their things. So as long
Mhm.
as you don't call your character Luke Skywalker or use the fucking music and stuff like that, you're pretty much good.
Nice.
But anyway, that was my rant
Jesus.
directed towards all filmmakers, but excuse me, as always, using San Diego as a case study. All right.
Yeah, I mean, you do see that a lot here, so.
All right, let's get on to no Namez Wei.
Okay, we have 2.
3, actually. All right. they're short
3.
ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay,
All right. We'll knock them out real quick. All right.
let's go.
All right. First question here, and some of these are jokes I'm thinking. All right. First one is I just smuggled a panda from the mountains of China.
Mhm.
What should I train it to do first? Juggle or ride a bike?
Kung Fu.
What
Sorry.
object should it learn to juggle first? What type of bike should it learn to ride? Trike, 5-speed, motorized. And if China requires about my new panda, can I hide it at your house? And this was from Amanda Panda. Thank you, Amanda Panda.
Thanks,
for your
Amanda
question.
Panda.
Sophia, floor is yours.
You go first, please. Oh, you're drinking water. Goddamn.
I'm trying to recover from my rant. You go.
I'm trying to think of something witty. I can't think of anything. Gosh. Teach it
Now,
Kung Fu, and yes,
what
you
is
can
the
hide at
most
my place.
well juggle or bike riding? What would you prefer your pet panda to do?
Juggle.
Yeah, I feel that like for a
Bike
panda,
riding? He could run away.
yeah, I feel like bike riding, yeah, is a little dangerous,
Mhm.
because you could go into. Whereas if the panda juggled, that's like dollar
Cool.
signs in my mind.
Exactly.
Because pandas just feel more like clumsy
Yeah, they're chubby.
and goofy. They're just like I identify as a panda.
There you
If
go.
I was a bear, actually more of a polar bear. Actually, I love polar bears, but
Okay.
pandas are right there behind. How do you rank the bears, Sophia?
Mm. What's the ranking system? Is it on cuteness, on toughness, on
Just
just
how
what?
how do you rank? Like who do you rank ahead? Do you rank like grizzly bears, black
Because if
bears?
we're going, yeah, because I'm like, if we're going on like, oh, ferocious and like the
Your
grizzlies are like
favorite,
a top, right?
your
But my
favorite, your favorite.
favorite, I like the red panda.
Ooh, the red panda.
The
Red
red
panda's
panda
nice.
is so cute. Yeah, it
They're
looks like a
cute.
squirrel, kind of.
Yeah,
Squirrel
if they're
panda.
red panda and regular pandas are the okay. My
They're at the
ranking.
top.
My ranking is polar bears number one. I love polar bears.
Mhm.
Plus, they're the only bear that doesn't fuck around with berries or shit like that. They're fucking meat eaters. They eat
Nice.
seal and they eat humans. They will eat your
Aw.
shit. They eat people.
Yeah,
They'll come. Yeah,
they're so cute.
grizzly bears I'm definitely afraid of because they'll come out of nowhere and they'll chase you down and climb up a tree. So
I saw the Revenant.
grizzly bears and black bears, but polar bears are at the top for me, and then pandas and red pandas because I feel like even though they're cute, they're kind of useless.
Yeah, and that's why I like them though. I go for the cute ones. Yeah.
All right, here's another question from Foodie from Fargo. Thank you for Foodie from Fargo. Dear Lou and Sophia, we are heading to San Diego this summer and want to get the best Mexican food in your fine city. Where do you recommend? I'm assuming that they're coming from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Thanks for listening in Minnesota or watching in Minnesota.
Yeah,
Foodie from Fargo.
thanks. Fargo.
I'll let Sophia, who owns a Mexican restaurant, answer this one.
You can go to La Original Casa del Taco on Sweetwater Road, National City. It is the best Mexican food of all San Diego.
Now, I will say this: there's probably three levels of Mexican food that you're gonna find.
Mhm.
You're gonna get your top shelf, I would say, which is like there's like Lola 55, like Cruce on Third Avenue, where it's sort of an upscale Mexican joint. But they still
It's like a
have,
hipster Mexican joint.
yeah,
Like it's
but
more, yeah.
yeah, you're gonna get the portobello mushroom tacos and
Mhm.
like the arrachera tacos with like better meat than you would get
Mhm.
just carne asada. So you're gonna try to find like an upscale Mexican place. Like I said, my suggestions would be either Lola 55 or Cruce 241.
Mhm.
Then you're gonna have your hole in the walls, your mom and pop restaurants, which are like your
Well,
traditional,
I would consider, well, what would you consider? So taco shops, mom and pop restaurants, and then
and then upscale. I think your
okay.
place is like a mom and pop shop, right? It's like a mom and
Yeah.
pop
So I
restaurant.
would say Los Cuates is really good with like seafood. And then you also have
Mhm.
to know what kind of stuff. So like we sell some seafood. We have tostadas, which is La Original Casa del Taco, Sweetwater Road, National City. Please go. But we have like a wide array of like all fucking Mexican cuisine.
You sure
So
your
it's a
dad didn't write that?
uh, since the word
But
fucking is in there, probably not.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
No, they didn't say fucking.
Yeah.
No, they said foodie from Fargo. Okay, so yeah, if you're coming from Minnesota,
Mhm.
Minnesota, um, yeah, find yourself one upscale place like a hipster Mexican place. Find
Mhm.
yourself a good mom and pop restaurant like Sophia's place,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna want to find either an Alberto's or Roberto's
Yeah, just
and,
like
and
a
get
low
yourself some.
bar junk food taco shop, and that's very Americanized Mexican food. So that's where you get your California burritos.
Yeah, that's
You
where you
know,
get that.
your
Right,
tacos el gordo. You go, places like that.
right. And then finally, one last question here. From all right, let me see.
Wait,
I
before
w-
we go into that one, can I say something about the Mexican
mhm,
food? The
yes.
best Mexican food, you're close to it. Just cross the TJ. Just fucking go to TJ. It doesn't it like I love San Diego, but trust me, go to TJ. Cuisine over there is mwah, just so good.
Yeah,
You're close
fine.
enough. Just go. Cross the border.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
might as well. And then finally today we have a question coming in. Um, I ran into an old friend from my neighborhood that I had not seen in over 20 years. I was back to visit family and they had never left. We grabbed a coffee and chatted, but they continued to use an old nickname I had from middle school that was based on a medical condition I had taken care of later in life. Okay. I
Mhm.
laughed the first time, but they continued to use it over and over, even grabbing a selfie and posting, "Hey, I found so and so," while we were talking. So I faked a phone call, did the I gotta go move, and walked out. I ain't got time for this.
Yeah.
Was I an asshole and should I have stuck around and explained myself? Also, do you have any nicknames you were called when younger that you hated? Signed, Three Ball Jimmy.
Three ball Jimmy. Please tell me that wasn't the nickname. Oh my god. Oh, that's it.
I'm sorry, that one caught me. Sorry. Okay.
That's a good one. I always think, I don't know, I always think with things like this that just obviously trigger like a negative feeling or some sort of reaction from your past, you're more than justified to react the way that you're going to react. So I would never say you were wrong for leaving. Um, but if we're going to, so you were right to do that. There's other ways you could have handled it as well had you been more well prepared, I guess, mentally to deal with that, but you
Mhm.
had no idea it was going to happen. Um, from the outsider looking in, had you maybe been prepared for that, I would have said that yes, if the other person did it intentionally,
Mhm.
then that's rude as hell. But if chances are they probably don't know that it offends you that much. Let's say, devil's advocate, they had no idea. So they just went back to this cute
Right.
little nickname, whatever. I would say mentioning it probably would have been more helpful. It really depends how much this person means to you. I know I've been called some stuff, and when I care about somebody, I tend to tell them like, "Hey, man, that hurts me. Can you please not do that?" And then moving forward, if they continue, then they're the asshole, right? Balls in
Right.
their court. Balls in their court at that point. But if it's like you really don't care about them, you don't care how they perceive you, and you feel very uncomfortable, and you're having a reaction to your past, leave. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, number one, if you had three balls in middle school, I mean, kudos, right? If you
Jesus.
were, if the nickname is
Jesus.
actually Three Ball Jimmy, hey, I'm hanging out with Three Balls
Triple
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
You're like, hey, yeah,
Yeah.
it's me. I mean, like, okay, I'm pretty sure that part was a joke, but
Yeah.
um, you don't owe anybody.
Mm.
You don't owe it to anybody to be the person that they still perceive you as if you've moved on or changed.
Mm.
I've had this argument with people in my life where they're like, where they try to bring up old shit, or they try to bring up a previous denouement or a previous relationship sort of status that we had. You
Mhm.
know, like they'll say like, well, I used to be your boss, or we used to work together. And I had an argument with somebody that I worked with in acting that used to be my boss in the corporate world. And they're like, well, what about all the times that you would come from break smelling like weed and I never said anything, I never got you fired? And I would be like, the fuck does that have to do now? This is 20 years later. You
Mhm.
know, what our relationship was 15, 20 years ago has no bearing on who I am as a person now. And if you're still going to treat me and act around me like I am that person, then I am under no obligation to allow you to do that, to stick around, to be your friend, to hang out with you, to spend time with you, or to humor you into thinking that that's okay.
Mhm.
So you don't know anybody's shit. If you have moved on, and if it's something that was a part of your life that you used to make fun of, but now you don't want to, you don't know anybody any responses, right?
Mhm.
So you always have the right to get people out of your life or ignore people that are not feeding what you actually need from them. If they're not
Mhm.
helping you grow, if they're not a friend that you keep around for any specific reason, you don't owe anybody an explanation or shit. You could just be like, "Look, dude, I don't like being called that. I already told you 3 or 4 times that
Mhm.
it's not cool to call me that anymore.
So
It's
yeah.
20 fucking years later. Like I'm a doctor now, or whatever the fuck it is that you know what I mean." So that's kind of how I feel about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what I mean. Cause yeah, I always, not with this particular issue, but with cutting people off in general, I always go back and forth on the, as the person cutting off, I'm always like empowered, right? Like you don't owe anybody shit. Fucking yeah, don't even tell, you don't have to explain anything, just fucking walk away.
Hmm.
But as the receiver, as someone who likes to better myself constantly, if I said something to offend you and I didn't know that I said anything, I would prefer you told me why you were leaving, and then I
Sure.
can better myself.
Fair.
That's the only true way. If we want to build a nice society,
Hmm.
ghosting, leaving, not explaining yourself at least once before leaving is never helpful to the other person receiving it, because then they can villainize you. They'll be like, what a fucking dick. Am I right? Like he just fucking walked up for no reason. They have no idea. So I'm just saying
Yeah.
that if we want to build a better society, hurt people, and you leaving as a receiver, for me, I would, if I didn't know why you left, I'd be like, wow, the fuck did I do? What happened? I don't know. And I would be more confused than anything. So for me, it would help me more to be told, I don't like that you call me this. Please don't do that. And then I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so fucking sorry. I will be better. Maybe I delete the post, stuff like that. I can't speak for everyone. I'm just saying, as myself, when I think about being the receiver of that action, I would rather you tell me.
Yeah, I think that yeah, piggybacking on what you're saying, yeah, I guess the right way is to say, hey, listen, just so you know, I'm not down with that term anymore.
Mhm.
It's been 20 years. I'd like to think that I'm more than that.
Yeah,
So,
and you don't even have to explain yourself. You could just say, "I don't like that."
mhm.
And if they're a nice person, they'll be like, "Oh, fuck, I'm sorry. I didn't know that."
Do you have any red line terms for yourself? Where if somebody calls you, that's like an instant like red line, like you see red, or you immediately are just like, mm,
Uh, I have, so not red lines, but maybe like pink lines. Like if you get close to a topic, I might awkwardly laugh the first time, and then the second time be like, "Okay, but let's tone it down now." But that I will see red and get fucking angry.
I call it like the Marty McSorley line. Remember Back to the Future,
Yeah.
where he would be cool until somebody called him a chicken,
Oh
and then
yeah.
he would be like, "Oh shit, you called me a chicken?
Yeah.
Everything's out the window, logic and everything. I just got called a chicken. That's my red
Yeah.
line. That's where I'm going."
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that there's a word that I would see red if, as much as there is the person that it's coming from, and then intent behind it. And it has
I'm
to
not,
do with anything that has to do with either being a woman, being gay, being my disabilities. Like if you so much as like if you use that against me in a way to hurt me,
Mhm.
I will see red and I will fucking go crazy. Yes.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm not going to say what the phrase is, but I have a phrase that when people have used it, I've had to stop conversations and be like, hey, I don't like being called that. Okay.
Hmm.
You can call me this, that, this, fat fuck, asshole, shithead, fucking all these things. You can call
Hmm.
me that. But don't call me this phrase. Because
Hmm.
this phrase in my mind is
Yeah.
reserved for very few horrible people. I use
Exactly.
that if I use
Exactly.
that, if I use this phrase, I'm talking about
Yeah.
somebody that's disgusting to me.
Yeah.
So when some people have said it, oh Lou XYZ, and I'm just like,
It's
please
not
take
for
that back.
you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I've had conversations with people about that, and they're like, you know what? Okay, yeah. And so I've had that before.
Yeah.
But I can understand people. So yeah, you don't know anybody anything. If you want to be a kinder person, like Sophia says, and give them an explanation or say, hey, listen, I'm leaving, and the reason I'm leaving is
Hmm.
I've told you I'm not really down with that nickname anymore. I had the third ball cut off, and now I'm good. I have it on a keychain now. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
As far as nicknames was, when I got made fun of as a kid, it was because of my awkwardness, because I wasn't very, I guess, maybe just because I moved around a lot or I was into arts, but I was always called like an art fag or like a doofy or goofy, like goofy, doofy, like, just because I was sort of awkward, unsure of my body. I wasn't as confident as other guys that I hung out with, and mostly these were guys that I grew up with in Queens and in the streets and stuff, which were kind of a little bit more gangster than me, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, but so so if I met somebody from like the 90s and they're like, hey, what's up, Goofy? What's up, doofball? Like what they used to call me when I was like 12 or 13, I would be like, all right, okay, got it. But if they kept going over it and like, look, dude, that was me when I was 14. Like, can
Yeah.
you get over
Get
it?
over
Like,
it. Yeah.
yeah, like I got
That.
tattoos now. I'm tough. No.
Yeah.
So I completely understand
Yeah. That would be fucking annoying. I'd just be like, hey, can you fucking stop? Or I'm gonna
that.
leave. Yeah. So yeah. What is that? White box.
We have a mystery box to close the show with.
All right. ¿Qué es eso?
All right.
What's
And
in the
also,
box?
what's in the box? And also, I want to give a shout out to my friend's company, Ferrum Forge. They are a knife company here in San Diego. My friend Chris works for them, and he was
Mhm.
kind enough to give me this knife, this little micro stinger. Look at this thing. Look at this cute little knife.
Oh, wait, can I have it?
No,
I
this
need to
is a
protect myself. I'm a girl. Give it to me, please.
look at the size of it though. It's fucking
Give
cool
it
as
to me.
hell.
I want it.
Hey, Sarah, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. You like the
Thanks,
stream.
Sarah.
All right, so here we go. We got a mystery box that we're opening, and we're opening up with my super sharp knife here that we got. Let's look at this.
Your
Look at how
intimidating knife.
my intimidating small knife. Oh, look at that!
Yes.
And look at that shit. It cuts like a knife. It cuts like a knife through butter.
Pues
All
pendejo,
right.
güey.
All right. Let me make sure I open it the right way and I don't cut myself open. All right. We're opening this up. We have a mystery box that we're opening up
Do you
here
know what's
live.
inside of it, or is it actually a
Oh,
mystery to
I
you?
know what's inside of it.
Oh,
I know.
fuck you.
I
All
do
right.
know. I do know what's inside of it. But do
The
you know
glass
what's?
dildo. I knew it.
It's the glass dildo that you bought me for Christmas.
I sure did.
All right. Does anybody have any guesses? We'll give them 20 seconds. If anybody guesses what's in the box,
All right.
we'll go with there. Oh, there's.
Oh
Ooh.
my god, I know what it is.
Whoa! Don't say it if you know it.
Okay, I know what it is. We've been
Don't
waiting
say
for
it if
this.
you know it. We've been waiting for this on stream. And what we have is.
Oh!
It's a mega pie!
It's a mega pint. Put the paper inside so they can see the letters.
Oh, there. You know what? This is why I have you on the stream here.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Mega
pint.
pint. Look at the size of this thing. It's the size of my head.
Oh my god, that's great.
Shout out to Michelle at MNK Custom Printing on Etsy and on Facebook for hooking us up. We said that they were making mega pints, and they sent me my mega pint. It got here the day after last stream. I was hoping that it was going to be here in time for the reaction stream to the stuff, but they did send me the mega pint, and I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to put it over here behind me. because it is for a very large or humongous measurement of alcohol. Thank you
love
very
it.
much. Thank you very much. It will have a place of prominence. I'm going to try very hard not to break this.
Yeah, please don't.
I'm going to put this
Breaks it on the stream. You know what this means? You actually have to drink from it now, right?
Yeah, no, I was thinking that next one of these man,
Streams.
that is so much booze though.
That is a lot. Do you know how
That
much
is
it is exactly?
it's like 50 something ounces. It's like a gallon of water.
Oh my god.
Thanks for stopping by, Johnny. Appreciate you. I appreciate
Good
your
night,
question.
Johnny.
I'll DM you that information that you're asking for before. Yeah, so shout out to Ferrum Forge Knife Works for the cool knife that they got us, which is fucking awesome. They do custom
You, not me.
They got me. I'll see if we can help you up. And thank you very much to Michelle, my homegirl, for the mega pint. M Customs on Etsy. I'll link their info as always in the thing. They're a sponsor of the show. So thank
I'll
you
make
very
sure
much
he uses it.
the mega pipe. So we made it through.
Made it through.
I was able to save enough energy to do our thing to do my rant. It did come out okay.
Impressive, yeah.
So thank you everybody for tuning by. Great involvement from the audience. Thank you for everybody that's listened. Mi Gente show streaming live Thursday nights. Hopefully we'll see you guys next week. If not, catch us anywhere that you get your podcasts by searching for the 2 a.m. Burrito podcast, as all our podcasts are part of the 2 a.m. Burrito network. 2 a.m. Burrito is the label. Mi Gente show is the brand, I guess, or no, the label. All right, whatever. They're something. They're synonymous. They're part of the same thing. Whatever the fuck. I'm tired. All right. I love you all. Be kinder to each other. We'll try better next time.
Yes.
Sophia,
have a good night. Hasta luego. Thank you for tuning in.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride.
Peace out.